Hello. It is Wednesday, another day, another stream. And today what we're going to do is we're going to go and create a new project, or we're going to start a new project. What we want to do today is we want to, well, the first week of this year, the first plan for me this year was to, the plan for this year is for me, my plan for this year is to get better at, well, anatomy and, you know, creating more realistic humans. Included in that is to get more comfortable with the human body anatomy, so that you might know how to sculpt it from a certain, or you might know the anatomy, but when you then have different poses, the anatomy can change quite a lot, and to practice them in different poses, you have to kind of practice it, or well, to know it in different poses, you have to kind of practice it. So today what we're going to start is we're going to start a new project, which will include, or which will be, we're going to create a Chun-Li Street Fighter figurine that I then afterwards want to 3D print out, so that we can that I can show to you. I already printed one character. This one was just a quick sketch, but this is somewhat what we're going to get in the end. Welcome R Huang, or I guess that's how you say it. Welcome, hope you enjoyed your Monday, your Wednesday. This is the first 3D print that I've made of any of my characters, I guess. This one's just like a quick sketch, but that's sort of the idea. So I wanted to make it bigger. I think this one's 12 centimeter. My 3D printer can print up to 25, I think. Maybe I'll make it 25, maybe I'll make it a little bit bigger. So we need to split it into multiple pieces. But that's at least the plan. So today we're going to start from scratch. We're going to sculpt, of course, the body and all that. And then, yeah, the end will be that I'm probably, hopefully can show to you. Welcome back, James. Your room needs a 3-point lighting. I mean, I have one right there. I have one right there on the side, and then I have one, I guess, for the background. There are 3 lights, but I guess, it's this one doesn't really do much for my face. Yeah, that's gonna be the plan. So let's go to Blender. Oh, of course, we're gonna begin with the 30-minute quick sketch first, and then we're gonna go to the figurine, and we're gonna begin. I actually it's been a while since I've created a full figurine. The last one that I've created, or a full body character, the last one that I've created was a Reaper figurine. Since then I learned, or in that process I learned quite a lot about the workflow, I guess. I want to do it a little bit differently this time, and we're gonna go over what that means. Yeah, basically. Let's go to Blender, so I can show you today's quick sketch reference, which I haven't even imported yet. Oh no, I'm not prepared. Hold on. There it is. So this is today's quick sketch reference. As you can see, maybe somebody knows them. I had to research what the actual game is. It's The Last Guardian. I think it's only on console. And that's the companion that kind of runs around with you. And if you want to know who the artist is, let me show you their site on DeviantArt. I found it. They're called Kelskara. There you go. And the most annoying part about this is when I try to figure out what the name of the game here is, all of these posts do not mention the name of the game. All they say is the name of the animal. Like Trico. They always say Trico, but they don't say from which game it is. And I had to, you know, after not finding anything about what the name of the game is, I had to, I think I googled like, I googled Trico game companion. That's what I googled to find it. And then I finally found the name. But yeah, it was kind of weird. But you know, now, yeah. The web address? What do you mean? Yeah. You mean the one that I just pulled up? Yeah. So yeah, it's from The Last Guardian. I remember this creature. I just couldn't remember the name of the game. Okay, let's go back to Blender. Of course, yeah, I want to do Chun-Li, not only because well, we wanted to do Chun-Li at some point, and I said I think Chun-Li would be the best if you want to do like a full body, because you know she's a good example, or she's a good, I guess, character where you can kind of practice human anatomy. So we're gonna, yeah, that's why we do a full body figurine for her, because that includes multiple use cases together. You know, we wanted to create Chun-Li, we wanted to create I wanted to practice human anatomy, body anatomy especially, and then we can also turn it into a 3D print, so it's all coming together. Your stream is delayed. Oh no. Okay, yeah, there you go. So yeah, we're probably only going to sculpt the head. Everything else will be too long. Let's not waste any time. I want to have as much time as possible, as always, with the main topic. And then we can begin with her. Okay. Do I need anything else? I think we're good. We can begin. Okay. I would say we can begin in 3, 2, hold on. In 3, 2, 1, go. Perfect. Okay. So oh, hello? Blender frozen? No. My tablet is frozen. Why is my tablet frozen? Hello? Okay, interesting. Doesn't work anymore. Can I press anything? Oh, it's completely gone. Okay. Let's unplug it and re-plug it. Okay, maybe now. Hello. Oh, there it is. Okay. I was scared for a second. Oh, hello, pose tool. Yeah. Okay, there you go. I think this one's not too complex, because it's sort of a mix between sort of a dog and then maybe a bat, you could say, because of the ears. It's not too crazy, but it's still, you know, different looking than other creatures. And it's a fun one. So let's begin. Oh no, why? So you can't see it, but I can. For some reason, sometimes when I think when I have to, when Windows doesn't recognize the tablet, there's some weird glitch or some weird setting that I cannot find how I deactivated, or I found how I deactivated, but it doesn't work. That basically makes it so every time I press Alt or Control, there's a small pop-up next to my cursor that says Alt or Control. And it's super annoying. I think at some point you can just kind of ignore it, but why is it even there? Nobody needs it. You know what you're pressing. Why do you need... Hold on, I'm going to show you what I mean. Look at that. Look at this. Why? Why do we have Alt... Why do I have to know what I'm pressing while I'm pressing it? Look at that. Like, if I press F, nothing happens. But if I press Alt, oh wow, you're pressing Alt right now. Who would have guessed? What if I press Shift? Oh, you're pressing Shift. You're pressing Control, Shift, and Alt together. Oh no, what if I... Is there anything else I can hold? I don't think so. Hold on. Can I press the other Alt? No. Yeah, it's It's super annoying. And it seems like they added the function multiple times, and I deactivated all of them, but it still didn't fix it. So it's just like cursed. And I think it's when the driver doesn't work properly or whatever, and it's super annoying. Oh, hold on. There you go. Hooked up my Wacom the other day. Okay. But at some point I put it down. I didn't even notice. Mouse and keys just feel natural. Yeah. You know, you have to get used to everything. And if you're used to mouse and keyboard, you know, you kind of get need to get used to the other thing now. Didn't you say that you used an iPad before to now and nothing is working anymore? Oh, there you go. To sculpt, or was that somebody else? I thought you said that. Okay, there you go. Add the little eyes. Actually, I want to go to the mouth first. I think the mouth is a little bit too big. That's better. Okay, yeah, that's better. That looks pretty good. There you go. Had an iPad, but I didn't like using the third-party app. Okay. Third-party app. Okay. So there's like a port, or oh, you mean to transfer the PC view to your iPad? Okay, I had never heard of that actually. Interesting. Ah, okay. So okay. So you use the touch function, and it works because you can sort of remap your iPad onto your PC, basically your PC's screen. Yeah, I thought about getting a screen too. I just don't know how I would set it up for the stream. And right now I don't need it necessarily, so if I would, then I would probably have to do some changes. But I don't want to do that right now. Maybe at some point, but if it's not necessary, if I don't dread using my non-screen tablet, then why change? Look at that. Look at that handsome little thing. There you go. Look at that. Perfect. Maybe the mouth could change a little bit. We can maybe make it a little smile. Maybe, yeah, maybe why not? Give it a little bit of a smirk right here. There you go. A little bit of a cheeky smile. There you go. The only reason I will upgrade is because they're becoming cheaper. Really? Oh, there's something I wanted to actually. I looked into that recently. I kind of thought about it, and I thought to myself like, hey, now that NFTs are getting more popular, wouldn't my idea was like, well, wouldn't it become more popular? Oh wow, that's a little bit too much. Wouldn't it make sense that there are digital, what are they called? Digital, not paintings, but like screens that are sort of basically portrayed or displayed like paintings. These I remember, I think they called them, I found them actually, they're called digital canvases, where you can display any images, for example, on. Oh no. Even my pressure sensitivity now is different. I hate it. Okay. So they actually exist, like digital canvases they're called, where you can basically import any image. and that is because of, you know, all the NFTs that start to pop up. People want to display their stuff, so they might buy, you know, digital canvases, for example. So they exist, and I actually thought about getting one of those to kind of because before I did that, for my 2D art, what I've done is I've printed them out and then I put them on my wall. They're still there, and I would like to do that with my 3D art too, or I would like to do that more digitally to kind of maybe even add some small animations and then put that on the wall. That would be pretty cool. But all the screens that I've found so far are pretty expensive. I didn't want to spend, I don't know, like $400 or euros for a single screen, just to, you know, put one image on my wall. Of course, there are also smaller ones, but these are, I don't know, they don't really look that great. You know, these digital image frames that you can put on your desk, for example. I don't know, they don't look that great. So I didn't want to get one of those because I kind of wanted to make them. I wanted them to look like normal paintings, and that sort of that doesn't really work that well with those. Have you seen people's NFTs? Yeah, they that's what kind of gave me the idea, because they give them out, or in the first draft or whatever, they gave them out as these actual screens that have the image in them, and I thought, you know, they have to exist, but apparently not like in scale, I guess, yet. They were probably in the future, but right now it doesn't really seem to be that way. And one of the, I guess, websites where I found them, the first one where I found them, they actually only sold them for Ethereum. Well, so I couldn't really buy them, except maybe if I, you know, join, or if I make a you know, whatever it's called. Hold on. Somebody just followed on Twitch. Oh no. Give me a sec. Stream. Oh, hello. There he is. Thank you for the follow. Galileo. If you're here, hope you enjoyed the stream. Thank you for following. Hope you enjoyed your Wednesday so far. Yeah, so that's one thing that I would like to get, but apparently that doesn't you know, exist in a good way right now. There's actually a Samsung TV that is actually supposed to look like a painting. I thought about that too, but that also is pretty expensive. If these are as good as a copyright protection, yeah, but I'm not really concerned about copyright right now. Okay, we need to add more. Let's add the ears. I wonder, so, you know what? That just sprung into my mind. I don't know if that would be wise, or that would be, that would be, I guess, good. But I just thought about, like, so if somebody's selling your stuff, you know, without having, you know, the rights for it. So, you know, somebody's selling, for example, I don't know, your 3D art or whatever. I wonder if it would make more sense, rather than, you know, saying like, hey, this is mine, don't sell it. I wonder if it would make more sense if you then just go to them and say, hey, you know, this is my stuff. You're not allowed to sell this, so I could, whatever, you know, kind of, yeah, what is it, like, I could, oh no, I don't think that would make sense, but let's just go through the idea. I could, you know, shut this down But if you give me, I don't know, like 30% of all the cash that you make, I'll keep it up. You know, I won't shut it down. I don't know. I don't think that makes sense because it still kind of reduces the amount that you get. But I wonder if that's, if you would get more if you would just let them sell stuff and you get a share of it, or if you shut it down every time and you sell only through your own means. I wonder which one would be more profitable. I would guess that it's the selling it yourself, but I don't know. You know, you could make like a pyramid scheme. If you bring more and more people to sell your stuff, then they make money, but you also make more and more money because they bring more people in. I don't know. Welcome, Maya Boltromiuk. Welcome. Hope you enjoyed your Wednesday. Well, welcome. As you can see, we're doing a quick little scope. We have 16 minutes left. Do you like it? Oh no, hold on. I just closed the tab. There you go. Thank you for following Maya. If I can call you Maya. Remove it. Remove if it's in from my what? If it's an empty. Hold on. Oh. Yeah. I'm not speaking about NFTs. I know how they, or how the contract can work. Speaking about, like, you know, you oftentimes see on Twitter or whatever people that kind of talk about like, hey, you know, if you see this person, they're reselling my stuff. You know, they're just stealing my content and then they're selling it on some weird website. And they don't have the rights, whatever. I wonder if it would make more sense to just say to them like, hey, at least give me a share. But I think at some point, you know, it doesn't. I don't think it'll work that way. It won't work out for you. Because I kind of got it. I kind of thought about it because of the sort of ways sometimes, like Asmongold, for example, got their editors, because big streamers, for example, have, I guess, some, you know, just reviewers, for example, that create stream edits, for example, or just, you know, create videos out of their streams, which of course they then get the money from, because, well, they're not affiliated with the streamer, so they get all the money from the ad revenue or whatever. And then Asmongold just said like, hey, I want them to make the videos about my, or from my stream, but why don't I just, you know, hire them, or, you know, partner with them, I guess, and they make the videos on my main channel, or they make them, you know, they're affiliated with me now, so we share the revenue. So you kind of say like, hey, you know, you did that before without my consent, but now we do it together, kind of thing. I wonder if that can extend to more. I'd love to ask you about sculpting directly from background image. I mean, if you have reference sheet and take it to 3D, sculpt over. Is it a sheet or I don't know. Do you mean hold on. So directly from a background image, so like this one here. If you have reference sheet and take it to 3D, reference sculpt. Oh, you mean when you basically have like a side view of a character, and then you have a front view of a character, and then you set it up in a way where you can create the 3D character basically by using these, by tracing the images. I mean, you know, I guess it's only cheating if you want it to be. What I mean by this, it depends on what kind of goal or what kind of context it is. So if you want to create, for example, if you're in a studio, in a movie studio or game studio, and you're supposed to create a character from a concept, from a like a sheet, you know, from like a character sheet concept, for example, and you then use that technique to create the character. I wouldn't say that I wouldn't say that that's cheating or whatever, because that's just the fastest way you can do it and the best way you can do it. But if you want to, for example, learn human anatomy, or you want to learn to sort of train your eye to bring something that is 2D into 3D, then you could consider it, I guess, cheating, because you don't do it with just your eyes, but actually by just tracing it. So I guess it more depends on what your goal is with whatever you're doing, or where you're using that technique. Same for what I always like to do when I learn to draw is I would like to I grabbed League of Legends splash art, and then I would, I guess, copy it over to a A3 image or A3 paper, or like, yeah, paper basically. I guess looked at the splash art and then tried to recreate it in on my you know, paper. And the reason I did that is because I wanted to kind of learn about like character drawing or drawing in perspectives, and you know, I just wanted to do it because it was fun. So the reason, or like, you know, I think it always depends on sort of the intention and the context behind it. Somebody just subscribed. Hold on, I'm getting stalled too much today. Gladiatorix, thank you for the subscription on YouTube. I appreciate it. Hope if you're here, hope you enjoyed the stream. Hope you enjoy your Wednesday. Look at him. He's so happy he now finally has a neck. Let's make it a little bit more, how do you say, nimble? There you go. Thanks for the explanation. No, thank you for the question. Oh. I actually found my old sketches or my old drawings. I wanted to do a project with them at some point. And then we're gonna look at them. So no spoilers. I mean, I could show one of the big ones, but then I would have to we can look at one of them afterwards. Usually when I copied stuff, it was, you know, look way better than if I would just, you know, draw it myself. But I think that's kind of, I guess, always the case, because you see how it's supposed to be, and you can copy it rather than having to think about it yourself. I think the eyes are a little bit too high right now. If we place them a little bit lower, they can look a little bit cuter, maybe. We can maybe make them a little rounder too. There you go. Look at him. Looks way happier already. You know, if you have ever played a not Dragon Ball, but a Square Enix game, either Dragon Quest, or I think there's another game where they kind of take the Dragon Ball Z style for eyes, for example. There's always this sort of the eye style where you just have like this, basically like this, where you have an eye that looks, so you either have like a cube eye that looks like this, there you go, and then you have the eye here, you know, this is the eye. Or what you have is something more like this. That's usually for females, at least from what I've seen, like this, and then you have the eye here in the middle. There you go. I don't know, it looks kind of weird, but maybe you get what I mean. And that's what I think those usually look a little bit, I guess, friendlier, or I don't know, cuter maybe even. I hate, you know, so the thing is, now that my tablet is scuffed, I think I have to restart my PC but I don't want to do that. So I guess I just have to get used to the new pressure. It's not that different, but it's somewhat noticeable sometimes. So I guess I just have to live with it. There you go. Look at that. Look at him. Okay. I think the mouth can be a little bit slimmer. I also want to go to the cheeks. Maybe add some better cheeks here. There you go. How about figuring out the proportion and stuff? First you try your best to sculpt object and you pick, and then check with some kind of see-through. Oh, hold on. I think I've actually never used like that technique myself. And I think it would be hard to find like the exact. Oh, that's what you mean. I guess you can do that to practice, for example, copying from 2D to 3D. You can do that. So if you want to practice stuff like that, then that would probably make sense, yeah. Or checking, like, you know, improving your sketch with an overlay. Yeah, that could work too. So, where am I? There it is. Quick sketch day 2, 3, 4, 6. There you go. The nose looks kind of weird right now. I don't know why. Does it need to be further back? I think the nose itself is kind of weird. Welcome back, CG in Persian. Hope you enjoyed your Wednesday. Welcome back. Welcome. Nice progress, thank you. Did you solve the problem you were dealing? Yeah, I did. So I figured out what the hotkey is to switch languages. The hotkey is Windows spacebar. If you press Windows spacebar, you can swap between the languages you have installed. And then there's another one, which is Shift and Control, as you said, or Shift and Alt, I can't remember, which switches them immediately. I deactivated the switch and whatever, the immediate swap, I deactivated that function. So the only thing that I could press now is Windows and spacebar to screw myself, but I will try to not do that. 4 minutes, okay. Pull back the area under the nose? You mean, oh, maybe. Hold on, let's see. What if we do this? Oh, you mean here? Oh, true. I completely forgot about that. Thank you. Yeah, something looked weird. Looked a little bit too blocky. Yeah, that looks better. Maybe even like a little chin here. Let's see what that looks like. There you go. Give it a little bit of more character. There you go. Okay. Of course, we don't have any ears, but what I want to do is I want to add a little bit of texture. So I'm going to use the clay strips brush to just kind of add this feathery texture. There you go. It's not that crazy, but it's it can still change the look. And that's all that I want. Oh, we have some more hairs too that we could add. Although it could be hard to add them, but I think that we can do it. We can maybe just add a little bit more resolution to certain parts of the sculpt, and this way we can basically yeah, pull out fine hairs. Making kind of V shape on the chin from the bottom. Oh, you mean like this? I think, yeah, I don't want to fiddle with it too much anymore. We have 2 minutes left, so I wanted to add the whiskers too. But that could be something we could do too. I don't want to tinker with it too much. I just want to add the texture now, and then we can finish the hair. Or the whole sculpt, basically. So that's done. And then we have the nose. I think the hair on the face or in the nose is quite fine, so I don't want to do too much here. But I think a little bit can still help. There you go. And then what I want to do is I want to go into the resolution. Maybe we can even set it to 100. Or maybe it just freezes. Okay. Nice. Do I have to resculpt 75 or 25? Nope. There you go. Hold on. Let me save real quick. I don't want to get scared again. There you go. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to go in here and I want to use this thing here, simplify. Let's actually set it to 100. Why not? We're gonna go in here. Oh, it's here. Add some here, and then also add some up top, right here, and then we're going to add a few more right there. Okay. You see nothing changed, but now what we can do is we can go in here. We can do this. We can make very, very small selections, and then we can just use the fall off. We can probably use sharp for this. Linear. Sharp is a little bit too much. And then zip. Oh, of course, we need to invert it. And then we can pull this out. It's a little bit too thick. Hold on. Very, very, very little. There you go. First one. Oh. Second. Oh, hello. You're breaking up. That's not good. I guess you can just stay that short. Let's add one more here, and then we can go to the other ones. I think the time is already over, but I'm gonna do this. Anyway. There you go. One more, maybe this. There you go. And then we go here into the middle, to the forehead. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna do 3 at the same time. There you go. Look at that. Well, we can maybe space them out a little bit. Although, they're too fine. I guess I'm gonna keep them that way. They look kind of interesting. There you go. And then we go to the side here. I think we're gonna do them individually, otherwise they would look kind of weird. One. Oh. Two. And number 3. There you go. Okay, let's add the eyes and then finish it. Give it some lighting. Where's my projection? There it is. Perfect. Okay. I'm actually curious what happens. No, that won't work. Okay. Okay, let's add some eyes here. There you go, make them nice and smooth. Add the good old eye shader. Oh, hello. Nice lag. There you go. If you haven't seen it, or you wanna, you've missed it and you wanna do it. Yesterday, on Monday, going through all the different parts of the face, step by step, as a follow-along tutorial, how to sculpt them. Yesterday, we actually put that into practice and sculpted Ryu from Street Fighter, so another Street Fighter character. Just the head, of course, or, well, just the head. So if you want to follow that, if you want to do that follow along tutorial, you can do that. You can go, you know, if you're on YouTube already, or, you know, you can go there on my live channel and you can do that. It was pretty cool. I think it turned out pretty good. I actually then afterwards looked at, I googled, or I searched for follow along tutorials, and the only ones that I could find were like 2 years old. And they were fairly simple and didn't really include like characters. Which is kind of interesting, but you know, I will try to provide. How do you figure out proper proportions? Does it come naturally? It comes with practice. So it's basically just the more you do something, the better you understand it, or the better you can, well, everything or most things in life you kind of know because you've experienced it, or you read about it or whatever. So for example, I know how big the eyes are supposed to be because I know that they're supposed, because I read that they're or I heard that they're supposed to be, if you put 7 eyes next to each other, that's supposed to, eyeballs next to each other, that's supposed to be the head width. And so some things come with like facts, I guess you could say, or with certain set in stone information, but because you can't really sort of, so there's a certain, I guess, fact-based compartment to it, but because you can't really sort of always kind of remember like, okay, how long is the arm supposed to be, and you kind of have to wing it a little bit yourself to kind of have some speed, you know, to get through it in a certain amount of time. It also comes with experience, of course. So, you know, the more you do it, the easier you will see if it doesn't look right. Yeah, so it's like a mix between two things, between it being experience and it being, I guess, learning it, being learned. Yeah. I think in 2D it's a little bit harder to learn it, to learn how long, for example, arms are supposed to be, just because of the foreshortening that can happen because of different I guess angles or different perspectives. So if my arm, the arm, for example, the forearm is supposed to be as long as the upper arm, but if my arm is like this, then the forearm, or like this, then this arm, of course, from your perspective is longer than this, because it's like in 2D space, just maybe like it's like that much. But if you put that next on my arm, it's like a third or half of it. So in 2D it's a little bit harder to only sort of to learn through facts, because you kind of always have to, I guess, yeah, kind of translate that to your specific what is it, specific perspective. Okay, let's add light. Okay. There it is. First of all, world lighting or background, black. Not black, but dark. There you go. Next thing that I want to do is I want to include the quick sketch shader, quick sculpt shader. There it is. And then let's line up the lights. I think I want to make this a little bit softer, so I'm going to increase the size. Excuse me. Okay, I kind of, I want to place it in the back. I want to see what that looks like. I want to place it right here. And then we're going to use the other one to kind of light up the front a little bit more. Maybe like this. Let's place the camera a little bit more interesting, in an interesting place. Frame the subject more interestingly, I guess. That looks pretty cool. Okay, one more light. There it is. I want to make this one soft too. What color? Let's see what color we haven't used for a while. We've used blue yesterday. Green before that. Red before that. And then pink. I think it's time for orange again. I think it's time for orange. Or make, yeah, like a bright orange maybe, or maybe even just like a chill. Oh, how about not even fully saturated, but something more like this. A little bit desaturated, that looks pretty cool. Makes it look more like daylight rather than, or like a sunrise rather than, you know, like a full-on color boom. There you go. That looks pretty cool. Okay. The lighting might not be the best, but it does the job, I hope. One more thing, depth of field. Yeah, we're going to place it right here. I think I need to increase the depth of field a little bit more because I don't want the I guess the nose to be off. Actually, no, I kind of like it that way. I think that looks pretty cute. The eyes are in focus. Pretty cute. Nice. Let's render it. I also would love to have your opinion on making individual parts separately, because recently when I was doing layering technique, I was tired and I got this thought. Now I have to do ears. What do you mean with making, or when I was doing the layering technique, do you mean creating the bones first, then the muscles, and then the fat? Most of the time you can combine muscles and bone. The good part about doing them separately is that you learn more about how they influence the volume, which can, you know, which is very important to get the shape right, or to create a good sculpt. Gotta say, the resemblance to Chun-Li is a bit symbolic. What do you mean? For who? What do you mean? Do you mean me? First of all, welcome back, Salary Cat. What do you mean? Whose resemblance? Or do you mean from this quick sketch? Yeah. It's a abstract representation of how women are portrayed in video games. That's what it is. Trust me. Okay. Oh, perfect. Was it? Yeah. We're gonna go to Chun-Li once we're done with this. Usually we do right now until the end of this month we do a quick sketch at the beginning of the stream, which roughly takes like 45 minutes to an hour, and then afterwards we're gonna go to the main topic. And yeah, we just finished the sculpt, the quick sketch. So we're gonna do some post-processing, and then yeah, we're gonna go to Chun-Li. Quick sketch day 3, 4, 6. Oh. Studying, for example, anatomy of the ears as well, making new blender project and sculpt them separately. Oh. If you want to learn how to sculpt them quickly, there's going to be a tutorial on my YouTube channel about that next week. So if you want to know about how I sculpt ears, which I think is fairly easy and doesn't take too long, then stay tuned. Ears are something that once you kind of understand the main shapes, they're actually fairly easy, or simple, let's say. Am I annoying asking the question? No. I don't mind asking questions. There you go. Oh wait, I already saved. That's bad. Well, not bad, but there you go. Photoshop. There it is. Don't worry, I talk 10 times more. If you're here, then you talk way more. That's true. You already have your a few in your bank today. Speaking of layers, do you think it's fine that Blender doesn't have sculpting layers? Seems rich in features other than... I actually don't know how they work on ZBrush. I know that they exist. I don't know exactly how they work. They seem to be quite similar to multi-resolutions, but maybe not. I haven't looked into that. Because everything that I have seen so far is that you can sort of remove a certain amount of work that you have done, so you can go from the super high detail model to a lower detail model, or low res model to a even lower res model. That's sort of what it seemed like, and that's somewhat what you do with multi-resolution. Oh, there you go. What do I want to do here? I want to do post-production, of course. There you go. If you export sculpted ears and use them for another project with super cool asset with oh yeah, I mean if you export them and use them for another project, what's the question here? Then you can yeah, you can reuse them, of course. You could use the layer to sculpt details, e.g. buttons, and be able to turn that on and off, or sculpt different expressions, or on characters and switch between them. Yeah, I think so the thing is, oftentimes you have the same concepts in every 3D program. They just work a little bit differently. So I would kind of have to understand how or what it actually does a little bit more to see if there's an alternative or a different, like a similar way in ZBrush. I mean in Blender. Right now I just don't exactly know how it works. Okay, let's go to color grading so we can add some more color into this. I think I want to actually keep the sort of... no, you know what? We're going to go to the shadows. The shadows can be orange, I think. Something like this, nice and warm. Maybe even reddish, like this. Oh, look at that. And then we can go to the mid-tones and make them dark blue. How about that? I kind of want to keep the warmth in that in this image, so I probably actually don't want to do that. What about yellow? Something like that, maybe? 25%. Yeah, we're going to keep that. Effects. Give me some effects. Give me grain. Give me vignetting, I guess. There you go. Perfect. Okay. Is it okay? I mean, as long as you're okay with it. Or the person that you, I guess, do it for. As long as the person that you do it for is okay with it, then there's nothing against it. I, for example, use a base mesh sometimes. A human base mesh, for example. I created 3 characters out of that human base mesh. To be quicker, so it doesn't take as long. As long as the person that you do it for is okay with it, you can do whatever you want. Well, let's say the people that are the person that is involved in it, So if you're stealing from someone and you use that for your own projects, maybe the person that you stole it from is not okay with it. Similar to painting with layers in Photoshop. Yeah. Big brain guy selling different parts of animals. Digital organ selling. There it is. Okay. So now that we have the quick sketch done, of course I'm gonna upload it, and then we're gonna start with Chun-Li. So you're gonna see a 3-minute compilation or transition, let's call it. And then we're gonna begin with Chun-Li. We're gonna look at the, I guess, references that I've gathered, and we're gonna begin with blocking out the character, blocking out the pose. We're gonna decide which pose we're gonna use, and then we're gonna start. There it is. Oh, yeah. Is it up? Is it there yet? Maybe. Yeah, it is. Okay. Oh. Okay. Hold on, let me check, because I don't want to re-upload it. I mean, re-import it again. There it is. Okay. Do you participate in Sculpt January? I don't. I participated last year or 2 years ago in Sculptober. That's the one that I know. I think, you know, there are different, I guess, you know, it seems like there are multiple months where you can get like a month full of I guess subjects you can sculpt. But I didn't participate in any of them last year or this year so far. Okay. Hold on, let me do something real quick, and then we go over to, there you go. Okay. I'm gonna see you in 3 minutes, and then we're gonna begin with Chun-Li. So I hope you're excited. Hope you enjoyed the compilation. I'll see you in 3 minutes. Okay. And here we are again. done with the quick sketch and ready for the main topic. I don't know why, but for some reason my internet likes to drop out sometimes. It's not that bad, but it's worse than usual. Maybe it was just for the compilation because it's flashier than, you know, the Blender scene. I don't know. Okay, let's get into Chun-Li. First of all, thank you Orestes Con for following. I appreciate it. If you're here, thank you for. I mean, hope you enjoyed the stream. Hope you enjoy your Wednesday. Hold on. My nose is acting up again. Okay. Welcome, Johnny. Great quick sketch. Thank you. There it is again. The red. Oh no. Okay, yeah. And welcome, Orestes. Happy to be here. That's nice to hear. I am happy that you are happy to be here. Okay. So let's begin. Make a new one. There you go. So we're gonna begin creating a new, I don't want to say long-term project, I like to call it mid-term project. Basically, a short-term project is one that is done in one day. Long-term is something more like a few weeks or maybe a month or two. Mid-term project, maybe, you know, a few days. So this one is supposed to be more of a mid-term project where we're going to sculpt Chun-Li, a Chun-Li figurine that I then want to 3D print out. I already showed it off yesterday. I showed it off today when I started. It's at the end supposed to be something like this, but a little bit bigger and like a full-on, full-body figurine. And yeah, I actually want to, you know, 3D print it out. So we need to make sure that everything is 3D printable too. So we're going to get into that too. But of course, we're going to begin from scratch with nothing but, well, but with the sheer nothingness of Blender's 3D space, okay? And yeah, we're going to create the body and everything from scratch. I have a few things that I want to try. I created a figurine before, a few months ago actually. I think in the first half of this year, or no, in August I think, or September. I learned quite a few things from that, and today I want to do it better. So let's go through the references that I've gathered first. The references are basically very important if you want to create, or for me at least, I think they're very important, to first of all create the character in a compelling, interesting, and correct way. So what I mean by that is basically, you know, I don't know exactly how Chun-Li looks from all different angles, so I grabbed some references so I can, you know, so I know how she looks like from all different angles, so I can actually sculpt her properly. So you can see here my reference sheet. This one is something weird. This is like this one was usually, I thought maybe we can use a pose from this, but this is more like an animation sheet, you could call it. This is not that important anymore. But these are the other ones are basically references that I'm going to use in the process of the sculpt. You're not going to see them because, well, I put this on my chat section here in my Blender file. So, you know, if you would see it here. Oh, wait. Why is the chat deactivated? Where's the chat actually? Hold on. There's no chat. Why? There it is. Wait, it's all. Oh, there it is. Oh, I forgot. It's underneath me. Okay. Yeah, but you can see here this is my usual chat bar where you can see your comments. And that's where I place my reference. So, you know, it would be kind of confusing if the comments would be on the reference. So I just, you know, you can actually see it anyway because I focus on the Blender window afterwards. Okay, never mind. So the references are basically separated into multiple things. The first one up here, we have different, I guess, poses that I considered, or that I would, you know, that could work. So what I did is I just, you know, pulled up a video, Chun-Li, Street Fighter 5, I think, moveset, and then I screenshotted everything that looked interesting, So, you know, we have the standard here with the kick, midair kick, midair split kick, I guess, and then we have some more here. So a whole lot of different moves that could sort of be the pose that we can go for the for this figurine. One thing we always have to keep in mind is that the figurine, of course, needs to have a base that it stands on. So if you want to make a figurine where she's jumping and doing these kicks here, for example, we need something that she sort of that holds her in midair. That could be something like clouds, or like a wind swipe, or something like another character that she's kicking that is standing on the ground, you know, something like that to kind of hold her in the air. We need something that, you know, grounds her basically, even though she's flying. So I thought, well, we could do something like this where she's kicking and then she's kicking another character that is standing on the ground, kind of maybe blocking, and that's the person or the character that's standing on the ground. But I wanted to stick to her rather than doing another character on top of her, basically. These 3D planes, these ones here, these ones are in-game screenshots, or, you know, in-game, yeah, screenshots from in-game footage, I guess. How to follow along sculpting tutorials correctly. I always get furious when I can't get right proportion from the video. Well, I mean, if you want to get better proportions, I think it's better to just continue with the tutorial and then maybe do it again the next day, for example. Because when you go through the whole tutorial, you can recognize where you did mistakes. And then you can do the tutorial again, and then you can recognize, oh, I did the mistake here, so I'm going to not do it this time. If you only go through the tutorial and then at some point, maybe after 15% of the tutorial, you see, oh, it doesn't look like his, so I don't want to go further. What you then could do, for example, you could still repeat it, but you only know about the mistake that you've done there. So you might, I guess, correct the mistake, but then if you go further, maybe in the next 15%, you do another mistake, or you recognize another mistake, and you repeat again. So you would repeat it way more than if you go through the entire tutorial and then repeat it and fix all the mistakes that you've done in the first time. Yeah, so basically, do as many, or go through the entire thing, recognize all the mistakes, so you can fix them all next time, basically. Just saw it. Oh, yeah, no, those are just, this is, yeah, pure ref. It's not in Blender. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I think the pose that I like the most from this is, oh, another thing here, we have some inspirations for, I guess, figurines that I found. What I mean with grounding here, for example, is this. You can see here, this fire is sort of supposed to sort of hold, I think it's sort of holding her in place too, because it's kind of going underneath her knee and then kind of holding her knee here. So the fire down here is, for example, grounded, and it holds her in place. That's what I mean with it needs something to be, not something needs to be on the floor that is connected to the character too, for the character to be something more, I guess, in the air, for example. We have a few more here with different poses, and I think what I don't want to do is like this sort of standard kicking pose, where she has like one leg angled and the other one is you know, standing on the ground. I don't want to I want to do something, I guess, different. So yeah, so it's probably going to be a standing pose, because the other ones sort of this one, for example, kind of requires something else to be the target. This one is also similar to the one that similar to these ones, maybe a little bit different. We also have different poses, like, of course, this one I think is the same. I think I like this one the most, or this one's one of my favorites, or, you know, one of the choices that I like. Because she fights more with her legs, I wanted to put more focus in her pose on her legs. So something like this, for example, doesn't really, you know, doesn't really put focus on her legs. Same with this one, maybe more on her arms, for example. I like this one too, but this one's more on the ground that I maybe want it to be. It's quite low then. Doesn't really, you can't really see what she does there necessarily.
I like this one too. Of course, it's in the air, so you know, never mind. Then we have some more punching motions here. Then we have the spinning kick in midair, so that one is kind of hard to do too. We have this one, another sort of what do you call it, like a split kick. I think the ones that sort of I like the most are this one, this sort of upwards kick. We have this front kick. Let's put them next to each other. We have this front kick. Let's see. This one's also pretty cool. I think this one is kind of hard to balance. Or to look right without another person standing there. If she's only standing like this on her own, she kind of looks off balance, so it kind of looks weird. This one's also cool, actually. I like this one, but I don't know. I don't think that will make a cool statue because it's so low. We would have to place her on something that kind of lifts her up a little bit. Are you available as a mentor? You can point my main mistakes. Of course, I don't know. I don't want to bother you, but if you could have some time, you could answer. Well, you can join my Discord, and every second Thursday we do a feedback session. So if you post your piece in the personal feedback channel, I'm gonna give feedback on it next week on Thursday. Okay. I think I don't have a good eye for spotting mistakes, or maybe yeah. Yeah, it's always good to ask somebody else because they see your sculpt or your piece in a different way. Yeah, so we have this one, we have this one. Of course, there's this one too. Like this. Oh, there's one more. Hold on. It was this one here. This one also looks pretty cool, but we don't really see the pose, the exact pose, which is kind of, I guess, annoying. I like this one too. This sort of forward kick. I don't know how you would place it though. So, oh, and then of course something more like standing, just standing around. That could of course make sense too, like this one here, for example. But I think this one is a little bit too standard or too boring, too static to look like cool as a you know as a figurine. So something like this, for example. So I think I'm kind of, yeah, we have these four. Hold on, let me get rid of this. I need to, hold on, give me a sec. I'll be right back. Oh, there you go. Maybe I accidentally clicked it. I don't know. Now you should be able to hear me. I don't know how long that has been, but yeah, now you should be able to hear me. So yeah, I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know what you heard, but if you want to have all the references that I have so far about human anatomy, you can find them on my Pinterest board. So if you look up Noginao on Pinterest, you should find my boards. So like faces, clothing, inspiration, concept art, and all that. And one of them is anatomy references. There you go. And if you go in here, you can find all the references that I have too, that I've gathered over the year that I use Pinterest. Okay. Yeah, now I fixed it. Pep talk about legs. Yeah. Yeah, so we're going to use this pose. And, oh wait, you can't even see what I'm... Oh, hold on. There you go. Okay, once again, let's go back to what we had before. Here you go. My board with anatomy. And we're going to use this pose for the figurine. Well, that's at least the plan for now. I'm going to use I guess, let's say standard outfit for her. I think this one's the most recognizable for her. I also like it probably the most out of all of them. So we're going to use that one. Yeah. Okay, let's go to Blender. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay, so let's begin. We don't need light right now. We don't need cameras. So the last time the usual way that I create characters is symmetrically, which means that that I create the character first in like an A pose, for example, and then I pose it afterwards. But well, it takes a little bit longer to do that because you first of all have to sculpt the character, and then you have to add an armature to it, and then you have to pose it, and then maybe you even have to fix the pose because the armature might not deform everything exactly correctly, in a correct way. So instead of that, what we're going to do is we're going to create the body immediately, I guess, asymmetrically. And there's maybe a way that I know that we can still work with symmetry. And I'm going to show you what I mean. So what I mean is we can maybe still mirror the arms over to the other side, even though the sculpt or the character itself is asymmetrical. Armature in the pose already. I think it sort of depends on what you're comfortable with and also what the use case is. I think the armature is good if you don't exactly know the pose, for example, already. But if you already know the pose, I think just like immediately sculpting it in that pose can be faster. Because you only have one step, like sculpting the character, rather than sculpting the character, then retopologizing the character, then adding an armature to the character, and then posing the character, and then fixing the pose. You know, there's a little bit more to it. So, yeah. You have a more versatile character at the end, but with, you know, more time consumed. Okay, so there's one thing that I want to try real quick. What if I use a UV sphere? I'm going to place it over here. I'm going to scale it. Maybe not. Hello. Oh, lag. Thank you. Once again, I'm going to scale it. I'm going to apply the scale. Then I'm going to Alt-D, place it over here. What that does is it links these two objects, which means that if I now move, if I change anything on this one, it's going to change this one too. See how it changes this? What I want to do now, or what I want to try now, is what if I go to sculpting and I sculpt. I think what works is that I just do this. Yeah, so this works. We can change this in sculpt mode and it will be mirrored to the other side too. So what you could do is you could, for example, if this would be the leg that is on the ground and this one is kicking, we could place this one up here. Oh, like this one. Here it's kicking, okay. And then we can go back to this one because this one's easier to sculpt on. We can now sculpt this one. There you go. And then this one changes too. So we only have to do one limb at a time. And the other one will be, I guess, will shape itself accordingly. The thing is, I think once we go into dynamic topology, we destroy the link. So it is not linked anymore. So if I do this now, see, it's not linked anymore. It doesn't adjust itself. So once we change the geometry of this object, they're not linked anymore. So all we could use this for is for well, we could use this technique if we don't change the geometry. And there might be a way to do it, which is creating a base mesh first in A pose, then moving the whole thing, or setting it up in a good way where you can use the geometry to sculpt the basic shapes. And then once we have the pose, once we have the basic shapes, then remove the symmetry by applying dynamic topology. That might be the best way. The other way would be to just immediately sculpt in asymmetry. Which would mean probably like not double the time or double the amount of work, but almost. So I think we can do that. Yeah. We're gonna do that. Yeah. Okay. So I don't know if my rambling was understandable, but I'm gonna show you what I mean. So let's create a base mesh first. So for every character that I do, every full body character that I do, I like to begin with a base mesh because it kind of helps me figure out the proportions, create the proper proportions, and then I can pose the character in, with the right proportions, basically. Yeah. So yeah, the first thing that I want to do is I want to figure out the proportions. One thing that one thing to keep in mind is that oftentimes, for example, like video game characters have sort of skewed proportions to sort of highlight a certain feature of somebody. For example, Widowmaker in Overwatch has way longer legs than her upper body, and you know, so the legs are sort of supposed to be accentuated. That could be the case for Chun-Li too. The general proportions for the body would be head plus upper body equals, well, head, what is it? Head to hips equal the, no, wait. It's head to crotch equal the first half of the body, and then the rest are the legs. So the legs is one half of the body, and then the everything crotch and up is the other half. What could be is that we could give her a little bit more longer legs so that the upper body is a little bit shorter to kind of highlight the legs or accentuate the legs a little bit more. Yeah, I think that is some, I guess, just like a decision we can make, whether we want to make it more realistic or we want to make it more stylized, I guess. But before we do anything, let's just create the basic anatomy. So what I like to begin with is the upper body. And the first thing that is always good to start with is the head. Why the head? Because the head is used in a lot of portion measurements. Let's make the head longer. Maybe that big. That looks like a good head. Like that. If you wanted to, we can change it a little bit more here. But I actually don't want to do that. What I want to do with this is only really figure out the head height right now. 7.5 heads equal the regular, 7 to 7.5 heads equal the regular body height. So if we use an array modifier, there you go, and we set it to 7 on the z-axis, 0 of course, negative, there you go. We can now create the body. So this one's 7, let's do 8 so we can do 7.5. Okay, I can't really remove this lower one, but I can at least place it on the x-axis, on the half right there. So the x-axis will be the ground. There you go. So now we have the body proportions when it comes to the, I guess, heads. Let's now add the rest of the body. So as I said before, head plus, well, basically 3 heads or half of this here equal the upper body, and the rest of this equal the lower body. So we have the head, and then usually 3, maybe a little bit less, because we have 7.5 lengths for the body. Then we have the okay, first of all, we're going to just begin. So what I'm going to begin with is I usually begin with cubes for modeling. I don't use spheres usually to model. I use a cube, because what we can do with a cube is we can apply a subdivision modifier and change the shape in various different ways. So if I now apply a subdivision modifier, I can create a chest piece or the rib cage out of this by going in here. I can make it wider, for example. I can also make it longer, of course. Oh, hello. Like this. What I can then do is I can move this edge further back. Oh, not this one, further back. So we make the top a little bit thicker. And we can also make the top half a little bit wider if we need to. I don't think we need to make it wider, actually. Just a little bit thicker at the top, like this. So this is the rib cage. I think I want to make it wider in general. Maybe more like this. There you go. We're going to place that up here. Yeah, I usually start with the skull. The skull is, you know, as I said, a good way to measure everything else. Okay, of course we have some space between the head and the... Well, the neck needs some room too, so we're not going to place the chest up here. We need some more room, so we're going to place it maybe up here. There you go, so that's the chest piece. It's not in the middle, of course. Why? I don't know. There you go. That's the wrong one. This one. There you go. So this is the chest piece. Then we have the hips too, and we have sort of the stomach area. I like to split them up into two. So we have the stomach area, and then we have an object for the hip, rather than including both into one. So what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate this, move it down, move it back together here, so it's thinner. She has a rather thin waist. And then we can scale this together to create the middle piece here. And then the hips are somewhere over here. Today's daily sketch is awesome. Thank you, I appreciate it. Lico. Okay, I want to place it a little bit lower, maybe right there. That looks pretty good. Now we have the hips. Let's create the hips also from this. So the hips are usually wider at the top. Well, no, they're wider at the bottom than at the top. So we first of all need to make it flatter. Then we want to move this forward. We want to make the bottom part wider than the top, like this. And we generally need more, actually no, we need more room here in the back, but more in the bottom, like this. This will not only include the, does not only include sort of the volume of the bones or what the bones look like, but also the muscles in a very, I guess, basic way. Of course, if we can see it's quite small in this big cube, what we could do is we could include some more cuts in here to make them a little bit, I guess, you know, to give them some more shape, but I actually don't want to do that. Maybe for this one. No, I kind of want to, I think I want to keep it very simple here. Oh. So we have something like this. Okay. Then the rest would be for the legs. So we have 1, 2, 3.5. I kind of want to place this a little bit higher. Okay. Then we have the upper body. We have the middle piece here, which is quite low right now. I'm going to place it a little bit higher. Okay. Oh, we can probably, yeah, the neck region has quite a lot of room, so I'm going to place this a little bit higher, maybe like right there. So now we can also do some smaller adjustments, of course, if we need to. And that's the benefit of using a base mesh in the beginning. You can really figure out the proportions in the beginning, and then you can, I guess, you know, we can fine tune the proportions in the beginning. The proportions are sort of the groundwork to a good character, and then we can pose the character afterwards. We need a neck, of course we do. So let's use this thing again. That's why I like to use a cube rather than a sphere, because a cube is very, very versatile, especially with the subdivision modifier applied. It can be anything that you want. We can now just do this, for example, to make it more of a tube. And then we can place it in here. Always making sure that it's all in this, like, symmetrical. We're going to add the asymmetry afterwards. Okay. Let's continue with the legs. For the legs, I actually have something else in mind when it comes to this shape. I want to try something. So there's a technique that I used for stylized hair that I think might work for a base mesh too. And that is basically by using a plane and then going into the edit mode, pressing Shift X to merge all the points together in the middle. And then if you press E, press E, nothing happens. Oh, because we have to press A again to select it. Then if you press E, we can see we only have a single edge now. But now if we apply a new modifier, which is called the skin modifier, it's right here, hold on. Where is it? There it is. The skin modifier, we can see again, it gains thickness again. And the good thing about that is we can now basically, well, extend this edge here, for example. And then we can make this more of a leg shape by including a cut right here. And then we could give this some more thickness, for example, by pressing Control A. Wait, is it Control? Yeah, Control A to make it thicker. We can move it up. And this way we can create some pretty organic shapes too. So this might be useful for stuff like the legs, for example. But we could probably also just use the spheres, if I'm honest. What we can do here then too is we can just apply a subdivision modifier to make it more organic like this. Or more like softer, you know, like this. Ooh. I think I want to work with the spheres. Yeah. So I'm going to grab this one here. Make it a nice, good old leg. When you sculpt, for example, animals, for example, a horse, and you put background image, that's profile of the head, and sculpt on it, you stop being an artist in that very moment. Well, I wouldn't say that you stop being an artist, because it depends on what you do with it. So if you do it for practice, then you're still, you know, improving your craft. Just because you copy something doesn't necessarily mean that you're not an artist anymore, I would say. Oh. Okay, so for the leg, it starts off quite thick, then it gets a little bit thinner, and then it gets a little bit thicker again. But I think we can really disregard the sort of shape that it has in the beginning. We only really need to worry about the very basic shape, basically like a tube that gets thinner as it gets lower. So it starts off quite thick, and then it gets thinner as it goes. There you go. I want to add one more here. place that there. We go down. I think it's a little bit too far over. More over here maybe. I want to place this edge further over here too. Well, that's better. There's more weight on the outer part of the leg than the inner part. Okay, so the knee is at the midway point of the legs. So if this is the proportion, it would be somewhere probably over here. How many blocks do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it would be in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here. No, we need to include the, yeah, basically. Maybe a little bit higher. Let's place it right there. If you also want to make the legs a little bit longer, I guess we can move all of this a little bit higher. Not too high. We have to be very careful with changing or screwing with the proportions, because it can very easily look very weird. Because you want proportions and everything right in the beginning. I mean, I guess you could call it, it's not artistic, but you know, I guess you're not an artist anymore in that moment, but you know, it doesn't mean that you're not an artist afterwards. But I guess that's what you were asking for. Good thing is now, once we have the leg on one side, we can just copy it to the other side too. There you go. Yeah, so in my opinion, this is sort of the best way to start off, because you can fully focus on the most important part of a character. And then once you have that, you can, I guess, you know, we're going to pose it. We're going to give it some, I guess, more natural proportions. Add the actual muscles, shape it into a more natural, I guess, human form. And then we're going to add, of course, the clothing at the end. Of course, we're not going to all do that. We're not going to do everything that I just said today, because that takes a little bit longer than 2 hours. So if you really want to see what, how I add the clothing, that's not going to happen today. Good thing is, because we have this cube here, we can add some more geometry and actually really include some of the basic shapes of the muscles already in here. So we can see here we have sort of the thighs already that we can include. Of course, the same with the upper part of the legs. If you do an orbiculae, you can use it for another project. If you do this region on a sculpt for Doberman, you can put this on Bulldog if you want. That's the magic of I guess you could say base meshes. You do something once and then you can use it for other projects to save time, basically. I want to push this higher. Oh, hello. Can I please add a cut right there? Perfect. If you liked the tutorial yesterday about how to sculpt Ryu, we're going to do another one next week. This time, a female character. So if you always wanted to sculpt female characters, or you wanted to know more about how to do that, we're going to do that next week. It's not going to be very different to Ryu, but of course there are some differences when it comes to maybe proportions, maybe the overall approach or the thought process. But yeah, the workflow is of course somewhat the same. You know, females are still humans. Let's see. I think the chest is a little bit too wide. That's better. Okay, let's finish it off. The part here down here with feet. I actually remember doing feet fairly easily. Let's see if I can recreate it, how I did it back in the day. I think I used a cube. And then I, of course, added a subdivision modifier. The way I did it is I think I just created a trapezius. So I moved this forward. I made this smaller. I added a cut here. Okay, that's a good beginning. Move this back. There you go, look at that. And then I added one more right here, which needed to be in the front right here. And then in the back right here. Place this one in here. And the other one further out. Something like that. We could maybe even add one more cut. Although, I think that works quite well for now. Might be a little bit low, so I'm gonna probably scale it up. That's better. Okay. A foot, I think, is as long as a 2 feet equal 1 thigh. So if you put your foot next to your forearm, it's roughly the same length. I can't do that right now. Well, I can try, but it's hard. I'm not that flexible. And one arm or two forearms equal the thigh or the I can't remember the other name. So two forearms equal the thigh basically. And the thigh is as long as the other part of the leg. So if we do that here, place it here. We can, for example, rotate it by 90 degrees. And then we can move it up and see how big it is. It looks quite big. So what if we make it smaller? Maybe this big, maybe that big. So that would probably make sense. This is twice size, actually a little bit less. So let's make it a little bit bigger. There you go. That looks pretty good. Now we have the foot size. Everything kind of relates back, or everything sort of relates to each other. If you want to know more about the different relations of the body, a good way to start is to look at the measurements of the human body by... Who was the artist again? It's this depiction of the dude standing in the circle with all the proportions. Da Vinci? Was it Da Vinci? Let me check real quick. Measurements of the human body. Leonardo da Vinci. Da Vinci? Da Vinci, let's say. The Vitruvian Man, done by Leonardo da Vinci. I found an article about that sort of described his writings in, and yeah, I can't remember a word where I found it, but that was really helpful. There you go. So that's one leg. Now what we can do is we can just select this. We can press Alt D to link it. We place it on the other side. Then we press S, -X. Wait, what? No. S, X, and then -1. Negative. There you go. And we have mirrored it to the other side. We now place it in the exact same spot, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. X is this one here. We copy that over with a negative in front of it. We have the exact same position. Oh, well. Let's try that again. I guess we have to do it for each one individually. Let's do that then. That's the foot. And we have the... Dude, I'm just too dumb. Hold on. Oh no, this one doesn't help. Well, I forgot what I... There you go. Next one. Copy. And then we already have the legs. The next step would be, of course, the arms. And then we have all the body parts, which we then can basically pose. And because we used cubes, we can give it probably enough geometry that we can still add the basic, I guess, shapes of the body or basic muscle structure of the body before we need to enable dynamic topology. Which can save us a lot of time. And that is sort of always the struggle when you want to basically automate something, for example. You know, you sort of know a concept of how you can maybe increase or how you can do something faster, which includes, for example, automating something or utilizing a certain technique. But maybe you've never done it before. So the gamble is if you spend more time if you spend the time trying to automate it or trying to do it faster, does it pay off? Or have you just wasted your time and you now need even more time to finish it? That's sort of always the gamble, you know, that you need to wrestle with. And I think most of the time it usually pays off to do the automation, basically. Okay, so we have the legs. There you go. Let's go to the arms. So what I like to do for the arms is we could now begin with, I guess, the upper arm, but I like to begin with the shoulders because the shoulders also kind of influence the, I guess, the silhouette of the body quite a lot. So what I like to begin with, of course, are some nice little cubes. I think I want to start with new ones. Actually, no, we can probably use these ones. This one. We can rotate it. There you go. And then we can make it smaller. Start right here. Oh, hold on. I wanted to look at something real quick. Give me a sec. I wanted to show the one of the copies that I made. So, you know, I talked about in the quick sketch, I talked about how I, back in the day, I guess, learned or wanted to, I guess, copy League of Legends sketches onto a piece of paper to practice drawing, or to draw, I guess you could say. And I found these old sketches, and I wanted to look at one of them. Let me get that real quick. There you go, sorry. So there are a few, I think this one's the first sketchbook that I bought. So, and these ones are the first sketches that I ever did. There are a few that are basically one pager. So this one, for example, there you go. Can you see it? A little bit hard to see because it's not lit well. There you go. Look at it. So this one's Misfortune. I don't know, remember which splash art it is. The other one, this one, probably a little bit harder to see because of the low light, but there it is. So this one's Nidalee. Also another splash art, and then we have the full-on 2-pager. Hold on. Oh, there it is. I have made two, I think, two 2-pagers, and here's the first one. There it is. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that well because of this thing here in the middle. It's I think that's still the standard splash out for her. There you go. So I always found that copying over to my paper, I always found that quite easy. But then when it comes to actually sculpt or drawing from imagination, it was way, way, way harder. Oh. And 3D, I think I had like a head start too, because I started in 2D and I kind of learned the anatomy that way. It was kind of easier for me then afterwards to go into 3D. When I got mine, I started doing George Harrison doodles. Oh. Find I'm pretty bad at drawing, but within 3D space I can make anatomy better. Yeah, I think I'm better at 3D too, but I just started at 2D. You know, I didn't really know about sculpting, for example, before I started drawing. So I started with drawing, you know, because it was more accessible too. I did it in school too, and I couldn't really sculpt in school. So that was one more thing that, you know, brought me to drawing rather than sculpting. Okay, let's grab this. I want to make it shorter. I think the shape already works quite well. It's maybe a little bit too wide. Yeah, so that's one of the first drawings that I did. We're gonna go through them at some point. I want to use them for a project, and then we're gonna look through everything. I haven't looked at these things for quite a while. I think the last time I drew something, like, I guess, you know, as a, I don't know, like in my spare time, was probably a few years ago. I want to do it again, but probably more digitally, but who knows when that'll be. You're 13? Well, you have some more time to learn. I started drawing when I was, I think, 16 or 17. So you still have some time. You have a head start, basically. 2 hours late. Well, you just missed my first drawings that I did, and well, not the first ones, but the 2-pager League of Legends splash art recreations. And the 1-pager too. Okay, so for arms roughly end at the crotch. That's where the hand begins, or the wrist. The wrist is at the crotch, which means if we combine 2 arms here, zip, we have these should be as long as the crotch. A good way to measure that would be to just go here to the shoulder, apply the 3D cursor, then we switch the transformation to 3D cursor, and then we rotate down to see if it's
on the crotch. We need to remove the head real quick. There you go, so we can see it. I think it's pretty good. Yeah, I think it's in a pretty good position. Maybe a little bit shorter, just a little bit. There you go. Perfect. Are we still on the Ryu guy? Not exactly. We're now creating the Chun-Li base mesh. One thing I kind of want to make sure is that this piece here is not intersecting. So I want to place the arm a little bit higher. Or further away, maybe more like this. Yeah, that's probably better. There you go. Okay, so we have the arm. This one's quite thick. Let's make it thinner. And then we need to add the hands too. For the hands, I always hate creating the base mesh for the hands because we always have to add all the different fingers, which can take quite a while. But you know, it might be tedious in the beginning, but it's gonna help us in the end. So I guess we just have to get through it. That's just how it is, you know? Same with automation. You might spend some time and you might waste it, but if it's not wasted, you have a nice time saver on your hand. So it's all a matter of perspective. Okay, that's the arm. Let's add the hand. For the hand, one rule could be to go and place your hand on your face. If you place your palm or the end of the face at the chin, at least and I think it's sort of the average, the fingers end at the hairline. Of course, if you have a receding hairline, that might not be the case. But, you know, roughly your hand is as big as your face. I think... No, never mind. I thought your hand might be as... like half of your arm, but that's not true. I actually don't really know how you can relate the arm, I mean the hand. I know of the face, but I don't know or if there are more. Let's see. Hand proportion in relation to the body. Let's see. Hand proportion in relation to the body. Person's arm span. The distance from the middle fingertip to the left hand to that of the right hand when stretching out both arms horizontally is equal to their height. This ratio is approximately at 1-to-1 ratio, meaning that a person's arm span is about equal to their height. Oh, interesting. Oh, there's a body proportions Wikipedia entry. Let's see. These are the distance from floor to patella. What is a patella? Oh, the knee. To the front, lilac, crest, hip. Okay. Ratios. The ratio of hip width to shoulder width varies by gender. The average ratio for women is 1-to-1. For men is 1-to-1.8. Legs. So, you know, male shoulders are wider, basically. And women's shoulders are, well, compared to the hips, are just as wide. Legs are typically 3.5 to 4 heads long. Arms about 3 heads long. Hands are as long as the face. So there it is. Hands are as long as the face. Leg to body ratio, it is seen as an indicator of physical attractiveness.
Oh, no, I don't know if I can show that. But there appears to be no accepted definition of leg length. The perineum to floor measure is the most used, but arguably the most distance from ankle bone to outer hip bone is more rigorous. What? Hold on. The perineum to floor measure is the most used, but arguably the distance from ankle bone to outer hip bone is more rigorous. On this latter metric, the most attractive ratio of leg to body for men, as seen by American women, is 1:1, matching the foreheads ratio above. A Japanese study using the former metric found the same result for male attractiveness. The women with longer legs than body were judged to be more attractive, like Widowmaker, for example. Excessive deviations from the mean were seen as indicative of disease. High-class fashion journalists depict women with an extreme length of limb, and decorative art does the same from both men and women. When the artist wishes to depict the lowered orders, as such for the comics, he draws people with exaggeratedly short limbs and makes them fat. Okay, that's one thing I didn't know. Interesting. Waist to height ratio. The average ratio for the US college competitive swimmers is 0.424 for women and 0.428 for men. The ratio for an US normally healthy man or woman is whatever, 0.46 to 0.53 and 0.45 to 0.94, 0.49 respectively. The ratio ranges beyond 0.63 for morbidly obese individuals. Waist to height ratio. A person's waist to height ratio, also called waist to stature ratio, is defined as their waist circumference divided by their height. Ah. Huh. Okay. Well, that's not really... Is that useful for us? I don't think so. When you go to ArtStation homepage, are you getting upset that you aren't as good as they? I personally got this thought every single time. The only person you can compare yourself to is yourself. If you say you're 13, I don't think you're going to find a lot of posts on there that are from people that are 13 years old. They're usually already, I don't know, 30 to 40 or like 25 to 40. And if you think about it, they already have so much more experience in life. Once you get to them, you know, the experience that they already have, well, the time that is between you and them, you can now use to get up to their level before they got there. But in the end, the only person you should compare yourself with to is yourself. Because the only person you can change is yourself. And if you get upset that you're not as good as them, the only thing you can do is you can work on yourself. The problem is with comparing yourself to others is that you only really focus on where they are right now, and you want to get to their level if you think they're better, but they always focus on where they want to go. And if you always chase someone and they always go forward, like if they go forward and you follow them, you will always stay behind them, which, you know, means that you will always be worse than them, I guess you could say, and which also means that you will always, I guess, well, you will always be mad or whatever that you're not as good as them, I guess. So the only person you can really compare yourself to is yourself, because, you know, not only that, but also that you have a unique experience of life that the other person didn't have, which can always influence when and how, and when you learn, how you learn, or when you started learning, and how you, I guess, how well you can learn maybe too. Time is relative, but learning isn't. Exactly. Comparison is a thief of joy. Exactly. Explore the world and you shall reach your dreams. Okay, we don't want to be too poetic, okay? Waist to hip. Okay. So the face is basically... Yeah. Oh, hello. That's a handsome man. Well, that doesn't really help me. Hold on. Okay, so I guess we need to kind of look at the face when it comes to the head. Okay. I think when we kind of look at my reference here, we can see that his face is probably like 2/4 or 2/3 of the head. So we can maybe go with that. That would, yeah, that's probably okay. Mathematic man, exactly. Okay. Oh, where's the head? There it is. We can probably get rid of this real quick. There you go. Let me change the legs real quick. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's actually pretty cool. I never used this before. Never dabbled into this, but it looks pretty cool. There you go. But why is it not on the other side? That's kind of annoying. Oh, because it's not mirrored, of course. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's go to the head. For that, I wanna, or for the hand, I wanna do a new one. Actually, no, we can use the shoulder. You know what? No, I'm gonna make a new one. There you go. Oops. There you go. Add a subdivision modifier, and then we can move them closer together. There you go. I will separate each individual part of the finger into its own object, which is why it's gonna get tedious, but I think putting everything together into one mesh just makes it more complicated. So the hand, we're going to do the palm first, and then we're going to add the fingers. The palm is of course half of a hand's length, so we definitely need to make this shorter. I think what I want to do first is I want to create the full hand, and then I'm going to change the scale. On the side where you can rob artists from their courses. What do you mean rob artists? You mean get paid courses for free? Pirate them, basically. Female hands can oftentimes also be a little bit thinner, so I want to keep that in mind too. It seems to be quite wide right now. Okay. Let's add the fingers. For the fingers, I'm just going to use this one, because this one already looks like a finger, somewhat. At least it will do the job. Fingers are half of the hand's length, so we're going to first stack 3 of them on top of each other, and then we're going to scale them down so that they have the right length. Also, the first finger is the longest, the second one is the second longest, and the last one is the shortest. I think they have a certain ratio to them. I can't remember what it is. I think it's like 1 to 1.6, maybe? I can't remember. Or this one is 1/3 as long, I think. So if you scale this by Z.66, okay. We do that again. Scale Z.66. We have something like that. Maybe. Okay. I mean, let me look that up real quick. We're trying to learn more about anatomy, so that's one more thing that I want to learn. Finger bone proportions.
Proportions of hand segments. God once said, sculpting is creation, and thy should find joy in every single moment, while thy creates something better than thy himself. So is God roasting us because he's saying that when we're sculpting something better than what we could ever be? Sounds kind of mean to me. Okay, this one's not what I need. Preferences. Wait, what? What is this? Proportions of hand segments. Such investigation methods. What? The analysis of proportions of hand segments has been carried out of the basis of X-ray films of 66 adult patients without developed mental abnormalities. There were hand-joined topographies determined proceeding from the data obtained. There were suggested methods of practical utilization of the obtained data in the field of medicine. What you can do, you can at least see what I mean here. Hold on. There you go. See how this bone here is the longest? This bone's the longest. This one's shorter. And then this one's the shortest. Now I just need to figure out what the proportions are. This one doesn't really help me. I think this one, the length of phalanges, metacarpals, and soft tissues of the distal phalanges. That's not what I want. Incremental dimensions of phalanges and metacarpals shown as ratios. PD, PM. Oh. The length from the tip of the finger to the joints in percent to the entire finger length. Oh. So we have, what do we have here? IIPD, IIPM, IIPP. PD, PM, PP. PD is the last one, right? PD, yeah. PD. So we have, there it is, PD or tip. But why are there 1, 2, oh. Well, that doesn't really help me. Percents. PP is the first one, right? But why is the first one 15%, but the other ones are 30? This one's 2. Yeah, normal index finger. But why is PP 15% and this one's 27? Yeah, this one's too complicated. Hold on. The ratio for the distance between the interphalangeal joint and the distal joint and the tip approximates to 1.3 for the index, middle and ring fingers, and to 1.0 for the middle finger. No evidence was found to support Litter's hypothesis that the intercalary distance to the finger follow the Fibonacci sequence. That's the one that I read before. 1.3, middle finger 1.0. Let's see. So 1.3, this one's, and then 1.3. No, if you take this one, then we say 1.3, it's this one. If you take this one, we say 1.3, it's this one. I guess that makes sense. For the middle finger, it's supposed to be 1, but that doesn't make sense because this finger is shorter than the other one. hand bone dimensions. Okay. M1 and M2 were defined as formulas able to estimate finger, phalange, bone length. Hold on.
Phalange.
Phalange, okay. Finger or phalange bone length based on one dimension. Surface hand length. And 4 dimensions or finger dimensions. Surface finger length respectively. As a result of conversion, the estimation errors by M1 presented mean 1.22 millimeters, which was smaller than those compared by M2. The bone length estimated R 1.81 presented higher correlation with the measured bone lengths than those estimated by M2. Higher correlations. Okay, so which means if we take the first bone and we say we multiply that by 0.8, we get the second one, and then we multiply that by 0.8 again, we get the last finger, right? Last piece, I guess. Thus, the M1 method was recommended in the presented study based on conversion simplicity and accuracy. Let's try that. Let me show you how we're going to try that. Let me grab this one. Thank you. What are you doing? Oh, hello. Copy this. And we're going to put it into Photoshop so we can do some estimations here. File open. Okay, so let's begin. Let's make this straight first. Just to use the index finger. No, the middle finger. There you go. Looks straight to me. Somewhat. Okay, don't judge me. Okay, so we have this one here. There you go. Now what we need to do is we need to go to transform. And we need to say height. If we change the height, we can see it changes this length. So which means... Hello? We now need to say, we need to duplicate this. Make it red. And then transform again. Hold on. Okay, transform again. Height 80%. Okay. Let's see. I mean, maybe. It's a little bit shorter than that. Hold on, let me see what Photoshop says. So what if we now go and duplicate this one again? And then we transform it manually. Please. This one's 0.6. Well, that's interesting. So this one's 60%. Let's set it to 60. What if we now duplicate this one again? If I can do... Oh. Duplicate it. And then we transform it once more. Say 60%. Well, that looks pretty fitting to me. 60%. Science is wrong. Science is wrong, okay? It is 60% or 0.6. Why? How did I get to... I mean, I could measure my own, but that would take too long. Hold on, finger bone proportions for artists. Aha. Half, 1/4, 1/8, 1/8. That doesn't make sense. Middle finger is longer than the last finger.
So, okay. Palm at its longest point is the same length as the middle finger. Yeah. The first phalanx and finger knuckle is half the length of the entire finger. The middle phalanx... Oh, yeah, I remember now. Middle phalanx and second knuckle is half the length of the first phalanx. And if the terminal phalan, whatever, is divided, we have the length of the fingernail. So this one is half. So this is half. The palm is half of the hand. Of course, then the finger is half of the hand too. Half of the finger is the first bone. Half of the half of the finger is the second bone, I guess. But then the tip would still be as long. Okay, we're gonna go with those lengths. Half. Let me see if we can find some depictions that show that. I mean, this one we already had. But even here you can see the fingers. I guess it could be considered, yeah, maybe. Hold on. Hand bones. So if you look at this, we have half, of course. No. Half. That makes sense. And then we yeah, I guess so. I guess we make it half. Okay. I am convinced. So put that there. So we need to make this as long as the palm. There you go. Then we need to scale it by, on the z-axis, by 0.5. Well, that's quite short. Duplicate. Okay, scale z 0.5. And then duplicate this one. There you go, that's supposed to be the length. Looks weird to me, but I guess no, that can't be. Yeah, the fingers are kind of thick right now, but I'm more concerned about the lengths. What if I scale this again? That's very short. You know what? The hand is weird. I said it. Okay? I said it. It's weird. That's way too short. It's just a scam. That's what it is.
That makes more sense. Maybe? But even then... Let's see, I want to see more. I want to read a little bit more about hand. Hold on. Finger proportions. Finger length ratio is a... what? Ah. We examined the relationship between trait aggression assayed using a questionnaire and finger length ratio in both men and women. Men with lower blah blah blah. Dude, this is just digit ratio. Try to debunk the idea that finger length can reveal personality, blah blah blah. Who needs to know about that? And then there's another article, 5 things a man's finger length says about him. Finger proportions for artists. Rules of thumb, let's see. Okay, this one looks interesting. One human hand has individual joints and blah blah blah. Yeah, I know, thank you. Blah blah blah. Your palm is always longer than your fingers. I thought it's 50-50. Yeah, that's boring. What is this one? While the hand is often bigger than we think it is, in length it's only about 2/3 the length of the distance from the elbow to the wrist, and about 1/4 the length of the entire arm. Okay. That seems easier. Okay, we're gonna... No, hold on, that doesn't help us though. Well, it somewhat does, but... So we need to keep that in mind. 2/3 of the arm length. Or 1/4 of the arm or forearm length. Okay, I'll see you, Maya. Thank you for joining. Thank you for conversing. Hope you enjoyed the rest of your day. And then, of course, Memer, you too. Oh, I didn't even know that you had the same color as James. Hope you, thank you for joining. Hope you have a great day. Come on, give me these proportions that I need. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, there it is. Nope, there it isn't. Yep, half, I know. Blah, blah, blah. Dude, I just want to know finger length. Golden ratio, there it is again. So we already have 2 contradicting arguments again. But this one says what we found. Each of the small parts of the finger is 61.8% longer than the larger part. Yeah, that makes sense for ours too. Okay, we're gonna go with that. 0.6 it is, okay? So this one's half. Then 0.6.
And then scale Z 0.6. Okay. There you go. That's what we're gonna go with. Seems to make the most sense. We have evidence and we have articles that say the same. Okay. Perfect. So that's the first finger. Let's duplicate them. Oh no, that's the middle finger, right? The middle finger is as long as the rest. Okay. Wait, this one needs to be over here. Then we need one more. No, 3 more. Okay, these ones need to be a little bit shorter. This is the hand. We need to place it. Oh, this one's... Okay, hold on. So this is the middle finger here. So this one's roughly ending in the middle of this last bone. Right there. Then we have this one. This one ends roughly in the same spot, at least for me. I'm taking my measurements now. But then we have the last one, the pinky. Pinky is quite short. It ends in the half of this one. Okay. Let's give them rotation too. Okay, finally. That makes sense. Okay, now that we have the hand, I think we edited it the wrong way. Did I? Yeah, I did. Actually, no, it doesn't really make a difference, does it? No, it doesn't really. Good. So now we have the thumb we need to add. The thumb proportions, I don't know. Well, we can sort of, I guess, measure it ourselves. If you look at the finger, at the thumb roughly ends a little bit higher, I guess in the middle of the first bone, or a little bit below that. It has only 2 bones. So we're going to grab these 2. There you go. And if we place it somewhere over here. If I look at my joint, where it is when I relax it, this one here, I think it's somewhere not in the middle of the palm, but a little bit lower. So probably like in the lower, well, somewhere, I think that's already a pretty good position actually. Right there. And then to connect the bone, we're just going to use another one, I think. I want to use another one. So let's copy this one. Okay, of course it's quite thin right now, but that is not really my concern right now. We can make it thicker, of course. That's what I'm going to do. We're also going to kind of care more about the hand muscles later. Another one is that these fingers here are rotated by 90 degrees on the z-axis. So like this. There you go. Okay. Maybe it's a little bit too wide. There you go. Imagine figuring that out while you're sculpting it. That's why I create a base mesh. There you go. And that's the finger, the hand. Now we need to make the size. We create the correct size. Of course, we learned before that it's roughly, what was it? 1/4 of the arm's length, or 1/2 of the forearm's length. Chun-Li figurine. Just save it real quick. Okay, so 1/2. So that's 1, I guess. Okay, convenient. Scale by 0.66. Does that make sense? 1, 2, 3, and then 4. That makes sense. There you go. Perfect. So we have the hand now. Let's go to the other side. We need to add the arm to the other side, of course, too. What I want to do first is I want to save it again. And now we can duplicate it. The way I want to duplicate is I'll just select everything. Duplicate, move it over just for the leg. Just same as what we did for the leg. Nope, hold on. Alt D. Move it over. We could, no, we can't. Scale it, X, -1, which screws everything up because we need to, let's go to active element. Hopefully that helps. Nope. Then we need to maybe apply the rotation. I don't want to apply the rotation. Another thing we could do, we could use the mirror modifier, and then we could do it too. But then we would have to apply it afterwards, which wouldn't be linked anymore afterwards. Can we link object? I think we can, right? Afterwards, but do I want to do that? I actually don't want to do that. Alt D, let's try one more thing. What if I just scale it? Is that even scaled correctly? Why is that? Oh, because of the rotation, right? What if I apply the rotation? Cannot apply because it's a multi-user, because it's linked. Okay. So what if I delete this again? What if I select all this once more? I apply the rotation. And then I duplicate it. Wait. Alt D, X, scale, X -1. There you go. We needed to apply the scale because otherwise it's all screwed up because it has different local axes, and because the local axis gets taken into account when you scale it, it scales in all different directions. Now we need to figure out what the coordinate is that we need to set it to, which is this one here. Copy and paste. That should work, right? Yeah, we need to do it individually once more. Shouldn't take too long. Can we actually align mirrored?
Oh. No, we can't. Okay. That would be cool. Okay, and then once we have that, we have the base mesh, and then what we can do is we can basically take this. We can already pose it, or we can kind of fiddle with the proportions a little bit more. Good thing is, because we have them linked, we can still yeah, we can go into scope mode, for example, and change it a little bit. Welcome, Night Owl. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back. Hope you had a great time. Were you here this year? I don't think so, right? So hope you had a great hope you had a great new year so far. Hope everything's been going well. You know what your name always reminds me of? That one what is it? That one CSGO Counter-Strike YouTuber. I don't remember, the War Owl, I think his name is. That's what your name always reminds me of. As you can see, we're doing a new project, a new figurine. Now after doing the Reaper figurine, I learned quite a lot, which I now want to put into action. And we also want to, well, this one's Chun-Li, as you might have guessed from the thumbnail and title, which means I want to practice full body anatomy a little bit more. And I want to, yeah, do another figurine that I also want to 3D print. So this one will be this one will actually be 3D printed, not like the Reaper figurine. I'm not sure who that is, but I can hear the resemblance. Let me see if I could find it. The War Owl? Is it this one? Yeah, if you Google the War Owl, you'll find him.
I trained with an aim trainer every day.
Okay, hold on. That actually is interesting. I don't know if you could hear that. I used an aim trainer for 30 days. Sick, bro. Yeah, so we're creating the base mesh right now, and then we're gonna pose it. And what you can see here right now is my best approach to, the best approach I know to place these limbs on the other side. Why do I do them manually and don't just use the mirror modifier? Because I want to use the linked function. These objects are linked right now, which means that if I change one, the other one changes too. So it's I guess a more dynamic mirror modifier, or it can be used as a mirror modifier. So if I now, for example, go into the thumb and I change the thumb long, you can see the other one changes too. And that's very, very useful. I was very excited. I was excited when I saw you were doing a character from scratch. I've tried that myself, but I always get stuck when it comes to meshing the base mesh. Yeah. We actually learned new things today. One more thing that I learned today is more about hands. I also wanted to learn more about hands. The thing that I wanted to, I guess, I already sort of knew it, but I wanted to relearn it, I guess, or I wanted to research it again, is the finger length. And it's actually fairly simple to learn. So the hand length, if you take the full length from the wrist to the tip, 50% of the length is the palm and 50% is the full finger. If we only take the finger,
50% of the finger's length is the first bone, right here, this bone. And then if we take the rest half, you know, the other half, it's a little bit different. 60% is the middle bone and 40% is the last bone. Or rather, you can determine the first length, the first bone length, but saying 50% of the finger length, and then you say 60% length for the second bone and 60% length for the last bone. So 60% of the first bone is the second bone, and 60% of the second bone is the last bone. Kind of complicated how I explain it, but if you understand it, it's fairly simple. I think if we scale it here, it doesn't change. We need to go into edit mode. Oh, also, I don't know if you've seen it. Yesterday, or well, this week, on Monday and Tuesday, we did a step-by-step follow-along tutorial about how to sculpt eyes, how to sculpt the nose, how to sculpt the ears, and how to sculpt the mouth. And then yesterday we've done a follow-along tutorial where we sculpted Ryu from Street Fighter, only the head. If that's interesting to you, you can check it out too. It's going to be, at least I plan on making it an ongoing series. Next week we're going to do another character. So I'm probably going to do one of these, or at least, maybe not every week, but somewhat in that rhythm. So frequently you will get another step-by-step or follow-along tutorial. I'm also going to upload those to the videos channel. Oh, the finger proportions only really count for the middle finger. The other ones are a little bit shorter. So there are a few exceptions, or I guess some more rules you have to keep in mind, but I guess the first few are fairly simple. Okay. I forgot to go into edit mode for this scale. I'm just gonna do it again. I think that's the easiest way to do it. Delete it. Alt D. There you go. Alt on. Apply rotation, apply rotation, apply rotation. Okay. Is this hand okay now? Looks pretty good. Okay. I don't want to change it again. There you go. Place it here. No, it's not fully done. Oh. Okay, well, hold on. Let me apply these once more, and then I'm going to do the same again. Apply rotation. Apply rotation. Okay, that's better. Negative 6, okay. This one's in 6.2188 to 1876. Okay. Let's try this one. Hello. 21876. There it is. No, 6.218, right? Okay, hold on. Somebody just followed. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. There it is. Thank you. Oh, there it is. Silent Night Owl. I appreciate it. I see you're also switching, or at least you're somewhat joining on Twitch too. Some people like Twitch more than YouTube, it seems. So, you know, a few people that started off on YouTube switched over to Twitch. Yeah, it was, yeah. The name gave it away. Okay. Go through the fingers again, and then we finally have the final structure. What I want to do afterwards is I want to go ahead and... If I apply the modifier, does that remove the... I'm actually curious, hold on. So what if I now go in here and apply this? So this one has a... Yeah. If I apply this now? I can't. Okay, that's annoying. How can you unlink these? Unlink? Oh, wait. How do you, yeah, I'm gonna figure that out afterwards. Let me just quickly do something. Yeah, let me do these fingers and then I will take care of that. Yeah, so what I want to do here with these is I want to link them. The good part about these is you could also just use a mirror modifier, which is probably, it would probably be easier to use when you create the base mesh. And then afterwards you would apply the mirror modifier, you would separate the two meshes on each side. And then you would link them. That would be probably faster than what I did here. But what I want to use this for, why I want to link them, is because then we can still give it an asymmetrical pose while still keeping the symmetry when it comes to the shape of the individual pieces or individual limbs. So I could, for example, I could give this base mesh now a pose, an asymmetrical pose, for example, and then I could change the leg shape, and still both legs would change their shape. So if I change one, the other one changes too. That's the great benefit of using linked pieces. Okay. Copy. Paste. And then copy and paste. We learned another new thing. The hip to shoulder ratio for women and men is, for women it's 1:1, and for men it's 1 to 1.8. So for women, it's actually that the hips are as wide as the shoulders, and and then for men, of course, the shoulders are wider. Let me sit down real quick.
Okay. Okay, I think everything is in place now. So let me see how I can unlink them. Blender, unlink objects. Make single user. Make single user object. Now I can apply it? No. Yeah, selected objects, object. Object data, I guess. Okay, does it work now? Yeah, now it works. Now these ones are individual pieces. What if I apply both? Can I then link them again? Blender link objects. Not join, I want to link them. Control L object data. No, I don't want to parent them, I want to link them so that the object data is the same. What I mean, I can show you right now. So if I press Control L, link object data. First of all, welcome SETI 555, let's say. Or City. Hope you enjoyed your Wednesday. And you can see now if I go into object mode, both are being go into edit mode. That is because if I change one, I change the other one too. And the great benefit of that is I could now, for example, rotate this arm like this. Oh, hello. Woo, okay, she has an angled arm now. And if I go into here, I can still change the shape and it will be applied to both arms. That is the good benefit, or the great benefit, of linking everything. I wanted to apply the modifier because now I have more geometry that I can work with. But I want to go back because I probably want to use more than just that amount. Okay. Are they linked again? Nope. I don't know what I did, but okay. Let's link them again. Perfect. So it's like the mirror modifier, but without mirroring the pose. Yeah. So it's basically in a dynamic mirror modifier. It's not necessarily a mirror modifier. In this case, it's a mirror modifier. But what you can also use that for is if you, for example, have a forest that you want to render and you have a lot of trees, you can link link all these objects together. You can duplicate something while linking it by pressing Alt D. That duplicates the object and also links it to the original object. And doing that for like a forest scene, for example, where you duplicate all the trees, can save you a lot of render time. I think Blender Guru has a pretty good video about that. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I think it was one of his where he creates like a full-on scene. I think like an architecture scene where you see like woods in the background. I think that's where he tried it. Blender Guru linking objects. No, I can't remember what it is, but he showed it with like a forest. That's where I know it from. Okay. His cabin, yeah. Cabin? No, maybe it was pretty old. It was when I started learning Blender where I learned it. So it must have been like an old video. Okay, but now we have the basic proportions. What I want to do now is I want to probably use more resolution, probably 3, so that I can fine tune the shape. And then once we have the shape fine tuned, okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna increase the resolution. I'm gonna
save it as a new version so that we have a backup if something goes wrong. So we set all this to 3. Oh. We need to unlink everything. Can we just do that? No. Can we just Alt L? No. I guess we just make single user object and data, which now should mean that we can apply. The problem is if we have modifiers applied to a linked object, we can apply them. So we need to unlink them. We need to apply the modifiers for these arms, for example, with more geometry now. Then we can link them again. Link object data. And now if we go in here, we can change the geometry again. But now we have, we can change the geometry, but now we actually have more geometry. Let's do the same here. I want to, is everything unlinked? I think so. Okay. 3 should be enough. So yeah, I will do this for everything, and then we can pose the character, and then we can maybe I'll change the proportion just a little bit, and then we can pose the character, and then we can continue. Oh, then we can change the shapes to something more realistic, I guess. Linking should be the last step before sculpting. Hold on, linking should be the last step before sculpting. If you want, if you want to fine tune the shapes of the body and you want to use symmetry basically, linking should be the last step, yeah. Okay, we have this, we have this. Of course, the middle part can't be linked because it's one part. Let's go here. We have this. See, they're still... No, they're not linked, of course. We need 3. Apply. 3. Apply. Then we link them again. Object data. Perfect. We go and do that for everything. Is a little bit tedious, but as I said before, base meshes can be quite tedious, but once you're done with them, they're very handy. I might even save this and use this base mesh for future characters, so I don't have to do that every time. Although it kind of, I kind of like doing it because then I kind of refresh my memory when it comes to the proportions. And I haven't done full body characters for a while. Okay. So once in a while, I like to go back and start from scratch. But when it comes to if I want to do a lot of full body characters, for example, I would use a base mesh. So for the arcane characters that I've created recently in December, I've used a base mesh just because I wanted to finish them each in 1 week. And I couldn't have done that if I would have sculpted their bodies too. Welcome, Hustler. Hope you enjoyed your Wednesday. Hope you had a great time. Did the blue-eyed angel come back? Your blue-eyed angel? Or have you never seen her again? Never saw her since. Oh no. Well, are there any other new
customers, interesting customers you encountered. Doesn't have to be, I don't know, a person that you like. Something else. Maybe somebody puked all over the ground and you had to mop it up. I remember I remember back in the day in kindergarten there was one kid that nobody wanted to sit next to. And the reason for that was because so everybody, yeah, you know, nobody wanted to sit next to them because they always, or they oftentimes had to puke during like during, I guess, dinner or whatever. Not dinner, what is the middle thingy? Not dinner. Dinner is for in the evening, right? But one of the, I guess, maybe even breakfast. For breakfast, they always puked, and they didn't just puke on their plate. It went all over the table. So you tried to stay away as far as possible from them, but because you were so packed on the lunch, exactly, lunch. Because you were so packed so close to each other on that small table, everybody just kind of tried to stay away from them because they knew a flood was coming. I don't know what it was, but I think maybe it was the food. They were just always, you knew that it would happen, and it happened. It was like a rule. I had a drunk that thought he was the president. Okay, interesting. Did he demand something from you? Hope we don't get pukers. Our floor has carpet. Oh no, carpet. Oh no. Yeah, carpet. That's why I don't like having like a full-on carpet floor in your house. Like, I think you can oftentimes see that in American houses, from what I've seen, is that their entire floor is made out of like carpet. And you know, if somebody spilled stuff on that, how do you clean it? I guess you can clean it like from the top, but wouldn't it be better to just have like one that you put on the floor so that you can put it in it, you know, you can give it to someone to wash it rather than having to sort of do it yourself. You wanted me to recommend him a phone, the best one. I refused to give him one knowing that he'll come back with it. No, I don't think he'll come back with it because he'll just destroy it because he fall, or he just let it fall. Let it slip out of his hands. Salve? You mean save? I'm gonna save in just a second because I want to make a new version. Welcome, Jubilu. Cool name. Hope you enjoyed your Wednesday. Halfway through the week, the work week, if you're working. I mean, school week, I guess, too. Carpet is good for noise absorption. Yeah, but you can also add carpet later. And if you don't like the carpet, you can just get another one. If your floor is carpet, you know, the main floor is carpet, then you can't really change that easily, you know? If you have, what is it? Laminate or wood floor, hardwood floors, for example, it's a little bit easier to change that. Or not to change that, but, you know, you can still add carpets afterwards. And at least I prefer the sort of contrast between carpets and hardwood floor. Because it, you know, I don't know. I just like it. I don't think the carpet is, you know, carpet in our store has been changed in over 15 years. You know what that reminds me of all the all the satisfying carpet washing videos or the satisfying pressure washer videos, where you can see like a dirty floor and then they take their water pressure washer and then just go over it and just like an eraser removing pen stripes or like, you know, pen lines or pencil lines. You just go over it and just everything's gone instantly. You scrub off 15 years just off of the floor in one easy swoop. That's the best. I was actually tempted to get one at some point and then to clean something, you know, just because I wanted to do it, but I didn't. Carpet is cheaper, really? I mean, there are different ways, different types of hardwood floor. I don't know. I don't know too much about floors. Oh, let me save real quick. Let's make this version 2a. Okay. Should I apply it here too? I don't want to apply it there. We don't need to. Actually, we do. Head 2. I don't want to use a sphere, do I? I guess it doesn't really make a big difference. We also need to apply the scale on everything. Oh. Oh no. Well, that's annoying. Oh no. Well, that's one more thing to keep in mind. You can apply any scales if you link the pieces, which is too bad. So I need to unlink them again. Well, that's you know, more to learn, I guess. Okay, apply scale. Oh, hello. We turned these pieces inside out. Wait. Okay. Recalculate. Oh. Recalculate outside. There you go. Okay. Yeah, we want more geometry here. 3 here, 2. And then this one, 3, 2. I think 3 should be enough for all these pieces. For the hips, it might be a little bit too little, but I think it's okay. The hips is not something we need to link, so we don't need to worry about it too much. Okay. Let's link it again, because it's so fun. I'm gonna do it fast now because... Oh. Wait, what? Why is it moving to the other side? That's weird. Why is it moving? Control L, object data. Oh wait, it did that for all of them. Because we applied the scale, right? Well, that's annoying. Shouldn't be a big problem though, because we can just change the scale again. Hopefully. There you go. Yeah. Okay, so we can apply it, link it, object data, and then we can go in here, scale it. X -1. Yeah, okay, here you go. I was scared for a second.
So why do I apply the scale on all these pieces? Because otherwise, if I don't apply the scale, the sculpt mode will take the scale that is currently applied into account. So the cursor, if you scale an object twice as long or twice as high on the z-axis, for example, the cursor will also be twice as long, which is quite annoying to work with. So that's why I apply all the scales. Hopefully scaling it on the x-axis by -1 doesn't... I don't think that should lead to problems, because we only need to work on one side anyway. So we can work on the correct side. Okay. So if you're looking for the big thigh lady, you see her in front of you. Of course. We're not going to do too much sculpting today. So you're not going to see her in full glory today. I hope I can finish at least the big shapes and maybe even some more tomorrow. But today we're not going to do too much more. Okay, so we have these connected, these ones. Yep. Okay. So tomorrow will probably be the most fun day, because tomorrow we're gonna get into sculpting. Sculpting is the most fun part, in my opinion. And tomorrow we're gonna actually go into, I guess, sculpting the body, adding the actual muscle shapes, giving the body the actual human form, looking deeper into how the muscles shape the body, what muscles shape the body in what way. And we're gonna go ahead and, of course, give her the pose too, so that we can then go into the more smaller details. Once we have everything sort of laid out more, we can combine all the pieces, then we can do some more fine tuning when it comes to the body. Oh. Okay. I'm really excited to see it 3D printed. My printer can do can go up to a height of 25 centimeters, which is quite high. I still haven't really decided on how high I want to make it. Whether I want to split it up into multiple pieces, or I just want to, maybe go to 25 centimeters, maybe a little bit lower so it doesn't reach the maximum and something goes wrong. But yeah, that's sort of I want to make it bigger than this one, at least, this one. This one's 12 centimeter, comparing that to my hand. So the other one, 25 centimeter, is probably longer than my hand. I would guess that's length. I guess that's maybe 25 centimeters. Yeah, I would guess so.
This one's 12. Yeah, maybe a little bit bigger. Yeah, so a little bit bigger than my hand. Palladium, welcome. Yo. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope you enjoyed your Wednesday and your new year so far. 3D print yourself a girlfriend. First I need to sculpt one. New project, sculpting my new girlfriend. 3D printing my new 1-to-1 sized waifu figurine. Yo, so I had an idea for a project, but I can't remember the project inspiration that I had was, there was some sort of there was a 3D artist that basically took popular anime characters, like female anime characters, and they made 3D models out of them, and then they let them dance on their real life desk. Maybe you've seen those videos before, but I can't remember what it was called. I think it was some sort of Japanese name, so I couldn't figure it out myself anyway. But that gave me an idea, but I can't remember what the video was. Maybe, you know, somebody else saw it too and still has the link. Has the sauce, you know? Like a holograph? No, it was basically like a standard Blender tutorial how you can place characters in like a video. But the video was basically just the camera filming a desk, and then in the background where you would see, like, you know, the desktop just showing some sort of video, blurry. And in the front you would have the anime girl dancing on the desk, basically. In some, you know, in very little clothing. Basically. So let's make sure everything is applied. Location doesn't need to be applied. Let's go through everything again, see if it's linked. I would like to be... Can we actually show linked object? No, we can't, right? No, we can't. That's too bad. Can we? No. Oh, okay. Okay, looks good so far. Everything's linked properly. Oh, perfect. Okay. Good. So now we can save this, and now what we can do is we can go, for example, into sculpt mode, and then if we change one leg, the other one will change too. So if we, for example, go in here and we move this, we make the thighs even thicker. Ooh, you can see it does it for both. That's the big benefit of the linked thingy. So now what we could do is we could, for example, get now already change the shape a little bit, fine tune it. But what we can also do is we can pose the character first, and then we can change it, and it will still be linked, and it will still change the shape on both sides. And that is the big benefit of using this technique. Nope, it's not the mirror mode, because the mirror mode is tied to a certain axis. With this one, you can pose a character asymmetrically, and you can still so I'm just going to show you what I mean. If I now do this, whoa, hello. If I do this, hold on, I want to pose the character. There you go. Now I can go in here, and if I change this one, oh, let's make her, and there you go. This one also changes. That's the big benefit of linking everything. So next time, if I want to do one of these characters, I think what I want to do is I would create the base mesh in mirrored mode. So I would create one of these legs. I would apply a mirror modifier to it. Then I would, once I have the full base mesh, I would apply the mirror modifier as well as the subdivision modifier. Then I would, because if you mirror something, it's joined together into one object. I'm going to show you what I mean. Let's do it one more time. So this would be a leg, okay? We apply a subdivision modifier. There you go. Nice little leg right there. Doesn't it look great? Perfect. Oh, another tip. If you go into edit mode and you scale something, you don't need to apply the scale anymore. Then you can apply a mirror modifier. I guess we do it mirrored on this here. Hold on, we don't even have to. We can just go in here and we can mirror it by this. There you go. And then we have these two, so we have the base mesh on both sides, you know, it's mirrored. And then once we want to pose it and we want to change the shape, we can apply both. Oh, 3. Apply. Problem now is that they're both in one object. So to put them apart again, we can select one. Then we say P, separate by selection. So now we have two objects. Problem is the pivot point is somewhere in Nirvana. We can solve that by selecting one. Shift S, cursor to selected. Object set origin to 3D cursor. I don't know why there's a better function to do this, but that's how you do it. You can do the same here. Maybe if there's a better way, tell me, because that's the only way I know. So now we have the origins in a good spot. Next up, we go in here, we select this one, we select this one, we link them by object data, and now we can go in here and we can change both at the same time while still moving them and doing this, and we can still change them both. There you go. So that would be the workflow that I would use. For this one, I've actually created both sides, so we can save some more time there, for example. Can't you have two models, one in a T-pose that you sculpt on and a second one that is posed? You can do that too. But the thing is, yeah, you could do that too, I guess. But what I want to do is I want to do the basic proportions first. And then once it's in the asymmetry pose, we would have to remove the symmetry or the link anyway, because, well, different poses, if your arm is like this, the arm looks different than if it's like this. You know, the biceps is flexed in this position. If it's like this, it's not flexed, it's longer. You know, it's longer here. If you do this, it contracts, it gets shorter. So this arm shape looks different than this arm shape. So if you go into asymmetry poses, you can't keep them linked anymore when you go into more detail, because the muscles change their shape. Mirror, separate, center, pivot, link object data. Yeah. So yeah, you mirror, you apply all the mirror and subdivision if you have that. Separate. Yeah, center, pivot, link object data. Exactly. Okay. let's do some minor adjustments. Yeah. Oh, also another plug, okay? This one will be very useful for you, hopefully. I showed it off before, but if you want to have all the anatomy references that I have too, go to Pinterest and look up my name. Oh, look up my name. And then you'll find different, boards. One of them faces, one of them clothing, one of them concept art with all different characters that might inspire you, okay? And one of them is anatomy references. I've just added quite a lot new ones. So stuff like this one I actually grabbed for Chun-Li because we can see like the individual muscles here. I have a few more here. This one I like a lot. Of course, this one that I have here too, because you can see not only the visible muscles, but also the ones that are underneath that. This one here is also cool because you can see the big shapes that sort of shape the muscles or the leg. Yeah, and I add more as I find more. These ones I find very useful. I actually came to that realization just recently. Sort of if you want to find if you pose, for example, a character in a certain pose, kind of think about what the muscles would do, and think if there's a workout exercise that sort of triggers or targets the same muscles. You would probably find depictions of what the muscles do or what the muscles look like in that pose. So for example, here, if somebody's like lifting something up over the head, overhead press, for example, you can see here, that's what it looks like. We can see here the biceps, the shoulders, how they deform in different poses, and where they're positioned. These sort of depictions of workout poses have super different perspectives on the body and can really can very well show muscles in weird positions that you've maybe never seen them before. Like here, for example, like when do you ever see arms being raised like that in any anatomy depiction? Any echo shape, for example, you always see them lowering their arms and you can't really see what's going on underneath. Or this one here for the back, or for the I have some more here, of course not just these, but basically everything that might be interesting. Different expressions. There you go. Yep, so if you want to check that out, do that. I also posted the link to my Pinterest board at some point in Discord, but I can't remember when that was. Okay, so let's do some small adjustments and then we're done for today. Tomorrow we're gonna do the fun part, the thing that I do right now, but a little bit more of it. We're gonna actually add the big shapes to make it look like a human rather than a stick figure. A thick stick figure. A thicker. Yeah, exactly. You can see how well this works. You can just work on one side and it immediately goes to the other one too. And then once you pose it, you can also still use it, which is great. How have you been? Any work stories? Work's pretty boring right now.
I work on an internal project right now, which doesn't require too much. Well, oh, well, that's annoying. Oh, hold on. Yeah, it's not that much work, but it's the only work that I have right now, and you know, so I can just kind of chill, I guess. I do a little bit stuff for, I don't know, for YouTube, for example, where I prepare stuff that I would do afterwards, you know. Yeah, but work's pretty chill right now. Nothing crazy. No drunk people. My work? You dare ask me about my work? I work as a graphic designer. So I design some graphics. I mainly do, well, I'm the person everybody comes to when it comes to animations or 3D work, but we don't really, I guess, advertise that we do 3D because I'm the only person that knows about it. But animations, if there are any animations or editing or stuff like that, I am the person that, I guess, people come to. It's yeah, it's pretty good. I like animating and I like editing, so you know, it's quite fun. So now we get to the thickness, okay? So now Hustler, this is where you, I guess this is what you wanted. We need to figure out the thickness of everything. Oh. Have you dabbled in 3D animation? We've actually done one on stream. I haven't finished it, but we have done one before. I can't remember what it's called. Like, I didn't give it a name, but I can't remember when I did it. That's what I wanted to say. But I've done 3D animation before. Good old heart shape. This looks kind of weird right now. We need to do some more adjustments. First things first, go to the legs. Legs need more space in the front. That works better now. Fun fact, there's more... The big muscles of the legs are actually in the front, not in the back. So if you want to make someone have big thighs, they would have the muscles in the front. Especially this one here. That's kind of hard to draw. There you go. This one here. That's a big one. I know. Perfect scribble. Yeah, 4 to 5 months ago. Yeah, something like that. I actually had like a full-on plan what I wanted to do with it. But I didn't finish it. It was I don't know, I didn't want to... I kind of saw the scope, and I saw how long it would take, and I stopped it. That's the whole story. Also, big legs look weird if you don't have big thighs too. No, thighs are... Okay, I need to figure that out real quick.
We have thighs, and then we have... I don't know why I forget about that. Sometimes I just forget random words. Like clavicle. For some reason, I just forgot it. Like a month ago, I didn't know what it was called. Oh. What? Oh. Calves. There we go. Calves and thighs. Aha. Now I remember. Okay. Yeah, sometimes, I don't know why, but I just forget random words. Okay, we need to have bigger calves. Also, the outer part of the calf, or the outer muscle, is bigger. But the other one still, of course, also grows in size when you have bigger ones. The other one is a little bit longer from, I guess, visually. I don't think it's actually bigger. Yeah, it's also not necessarily, actually. I guess a little bit, but not actually as much as you might think. But the curve on the outside is bigger. It's also a little bit higher. Okay. Okay, we're getting closer. But let's go to the hips right now. Finally, I know how you can switch. How you switch in 3.0 again. It was so annoying to always have to go to layout and then change the object you want to sculpt and then go back to it. It was so annoying. Especially because it, like, you know, I posted that, like a clip of it where I learned about Alt Q to switch to objects. I posted that as a clip. And some people were like, wait, what? Why did they change it from Q? I mean, from D? Why did they change it from, like, why is it not D anymore, you know? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Somebody said, like, they added that function last minute and they didn't like that it's on D. I don't know. It's weird. It's a really weird thing. It's like D is such an easier button to press and D does nothing now. Why do they change it to D? Can you switch it back? Hold on. Can you change hotkeys? You can, right? Where do you change themes? No. Key map. There it is. Oh, I guess you have to go to sculpting, 3D view. Okay, that takes way too long to find. Looking at some legs at work, they seem so unbalanced to me, especially on skinny girls where you can see the leg bend. The leg doesn't necessarily bend, but how the muscles are set up, it looks like they're bent. You have this very clear S curve. So if you have the muscle right here, if that's the leg muscle, or let's take the finger, you would have to say like half of it. This is the knee, okay? This is the knee. Here's the knee. If the person is facing this direction, you have big muscles for the thigh or up here, going down like this is thick, and then it goes to the bone, and then here
you can basically see the bone because all the muscles are in the back, right here. That's why you have this clear S curve going like this. So it's somewhat unbalanced. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna look for it. Hold on, sculpt. Okay, nope. Nope. In the search field, try to search for keywords like switch sculpt. Yeah, I don't want to do that right now. Too much work. Alt Q is okay, it's just weird. Why even change it, you know? I feel like the back should be more arched. That would be more unnatural, but probably more fitting for the character. So here comes the struggle whether or not it's supposed to look more realistic or supposed to look more, I guess, whatever you want to call it, stylized. Hello, can I rotate, please? Oh, everything froze for some reason. Nice. Oh. Can't you import your old hotkeys? You can... I don't know if you can... You can import your settings. I don't know if you can import your hotkeys. You know what? I kind of want to make the chest a little bit smaller. Just a little bit. Oh, we also learned something new today on Wikipedia. That, of course, women with longer legs are considered more attractive. But we also learned that... Oh no. Oh, who cares? That if you want to make someone look poor, you basically make them short and and fat. That's how you make someone look poor or lesser, I guess. That's what we learned on Wikipedia, okay? I don't say it, okay? It's Wikipedia, not me. Okay, yeah, we need... Yeah, okay. I just saw the time. I need to end it here. Need to go to bed early, okay? No, need to get to bed in time. With the giga thighs that she has, I say go for stylized. Well, you can give her giga thighs. She doesn't have to be stylized. You know, women in real life can also have giga thighs. It just, you know, a little bit more proportionally realistic. But we're gonna care about that tomorrow. Okay? So tomorrow we're gonna go into the actual shapes. Today we created the base mesh, which took longer than I expected, but now we finally know, or now we have a good workflow. Mirror, apply modifiers, separate, pivot point, moving, linking. New workflow, okay? We know about that now. So for the next one, we know it, okay? Yeah. Speedrunning cancelling, well, you can only get cancelled if you want to be cancelled, okay? Yeah. So tomorrow we're gonna go into the weeds, into the fun part. Yeah. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. It seems like more and more people go to Twitch for some reason. Maybe Twitch is better in life. I don't know. But yeah. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Thank you for chatting. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And maybe I'll see you next time. Until then, take care.